really, that money. Hello, everybody. It's Dark Side Phil. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill. Stupid fucking trolls, man. I just want to chill. I rock back and forth on the X and Y axis. Tip me so I could catch up on back taxes, making large stacks, refunding chargebacks, and my laugh sounds like act. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. I want to have chill streams. No detractor memes, bathroom breaks, playing WWE, relax and chill session of Street Fighter 3. Like I'm getting my vibe back from 2017. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. I'm the one who operated a successful YouTube channel. I'm the one who just filed for bankruptcy. I'm the one who didn't pay my taxes. I'm the one. Me. I'm the one who masturbated in front of children. I'm the one who got 4th place at Evo. I'm the one with a 10-year legacy. I'm the one. Me. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bitch. Raise your hands in the air. I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill, the condo fees, my mortgage, my taxes, my back taxes, my current taxes, my state taxes, my federal taxes, my tax attorney, my tax guy, my tax accountant, my bankruptcy lawyer, all of my credit cards, my new setup, the new laptop, PS5, gin, bowl of ramen, WWE champion.
It's been a while. It has been a while, but I am back. And doing something very doing something very, what I would say, not recommended. So let's get to there we go. Hey Sins, how's it going? Oh boy, yeah. It has been an interesting kind of day where we are here, so let's up. Oh, that's right.
I'm not returning to Tekken 8. I'm done with it. I'm done, and there's no time to go back to Tekken 8. I just don't. I've never played Tunic. No, I haven't.
Ooh, okay. So he started a little early. Interesting. He normally doesn't.
Good evening, everybody. How are you?
Okay.
I hope I find you well, and I hope you are ready to chill.
Yeah, he was talking.
Tonight, because tonight I am not doing gameplay. Tonight I am not reacting. Tonight I am just here to hang out. That's it.
Then you know what?
And I'm happy with that. I'm happy to have fun and just chill with all of you and have a good time together. Okay, and I hope that you're ready for that too. It's good to have a night with no pressure. Don't have to make progress. Don't have to get wins. Just chilling, right?
Snort.
How's everyone tonight?
Okay, let's see.
How are you? What is going on?
That's good. Well, I will turn
Anything?
that
Is
down.
anything going on? What is happening? I don't know. Where am I? Who am I? Where am I? And why am I? These are questions we may not get answers to. But tonight we're still going to relax and have a good time, regardless of all of the confusion. Okay? I promise you that.
Phil, you're the only one who's confused.
I'm not on screen yet
guarantee
because I want to wait until we're going to record to be on screen.
What the hell? Like, he doesn't want to be like. This motherfucker's probably got doing some weird ass shit. You know, he's probably doing some weird ass, fucking, gimmick shit to try to, like.
So I won't be on screen as of yet, but I want to talk with you guys for a little bit before we begin. I prefer hot chocolate with or without marshmallows. Probably without. The marshmallows are fine, but they don't last anyway, right? Marshmallows usually dilute into hot chocolate, so I'd rather just have it without. I don't. It's a lot of extra, right? If I used to consider React content as low effort and a day off, what do I consider chill with Phil? Personal interaction with my audience that they appreciate because they like the human side of things rather than constantly me having to put out gameplay, which would be considered much harder work, sure, but still valid. You know, the consideration that I used to say about React content was that people literally acting while a camera played in the background. Me actually talking with you is harder to do than just watching someone else broadcast and make facial reactions.
Wow.
So I stand to that. Nice try, though. I mean, you tried. Very tough here, very hard to try to make it look like I was contradicting myself. However, it backfired, and now you look like a tremendous moron. Congratulations on that. And we didn't even start yet. That's a good start. There you go.
Like,
have you ever had dinosaur egg oatmeal? What the hell is that? Like, what is... All right. Save the crazy questions for when I'm on screen and we're actually doing the chill.
Well, then why are you answering questions, you dumbass? Like, maybe don't answer any questions. Like, Jesus. Like, you don't have to do... You could just, like, not answer any questions. But, I gotta answer all these questions that they have. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, if you're not gonna answer... If you're gonna just be like, oh, don't... Then how about this? Don't answer the questions until you want to go.
Chill session. Dinosaur egg oatmeal. What the hell is got... What? Good evening to Chemical Goods. I should react to some of my former takes. I think I would be surprised. No, I wouldn't be surprised. You know why? Because that was me in a different time of my life, a different level of
I've changed,
age and experience and maturity. And it may shock you. This may be a revelation to you right now, but ladies and gentlemen, as people get older, they tend to change their minds on things. I'm not sure if you knew that. That everything, an opinion, is not a black and white absolute statement that lasts forever. And if you don't know that, well, you're probably just an immature dummy. I don't know what else to say.
Wow, okay.
So there you go. You tried twice now. That's 2 fails. Are we going to make it a 3? Can we make it a 3-peat? Can we make it a 3-peat for this person trying to heckle me in the chat before? Why am I toxic? Dinosaur egg oatmeal is oatmeal with candy dinosaurs in it?
Oh,
what
definitely.
the? Okay, no, I have never heard nor seen nor
wants to
had
say
that.
that he's changed, but
that
he's
sounds like
never
that
actually
came
changed.
after my time as a kid eating oatmeal. Ongoy, thank you. He says, I hope you're having a great night. So far, so good. I had a good dinner. Relaxing after dinner with my wife. And now I'm ready to chill with you. I'm actually hoping the office cools down a bit. It was quite hot in here this afternoon. It was like 68 outside. It was probably around like 80 in here. Tomorrow it's going to be in the 70s. It usually be like 90 in here. But tomorrow I'm putting the air conditioner in because this weekend it's supposed to be like 85 to 90 outside, which means it would be like 100 degrees in here if I didn't have it. So I got to do it. I got to put the AC in.
Well, Phil, here's the thing. The thing about putting is like you don't have to put the... If you were to, let's say, turn off your equipment while you weren't in the office, it would drop probably to normal temperatures. you running all your systems all the time is what's causing this issue.
Jasper is good. Jasper was downstairs running around, having fun. We had the back door open, but the screen was closed, and he pounced on the screen because a squirrel was outside. Like, relax, Jasper. Relax.
All right, let's see. Oh, god damn it.
When am I moving back to the east? That's a good question. Great question.
When his house gets
no gaming tonight.
On.
I'm just gonna hang out with you guys. I'm not on camera yet because technically it hasn't begun yet. I actually got on here a little early, but I'm just gonna hang out and talk for a couple of hours.
You are starting, and you're just like, this is like some pre-stream stalling back from the old days.
Why did I stop playing Honda Street Fighter? I didn't. I hit Master, and then I stopped playing Street Fighter for a good like month and a half, almost 2 months. Came back to it, and I played with every character in a row who I had used previously, and Honda was one of them. So I don't know what you're talking about. I used Honda in the last month, actually. I think it was early April.
Yeah, but if you're gonna use it, you then go casual.
Homemade
chili,
master
ranked
My
matches.
wife makes it. Glad you're enjoying that. I have no enemies. Alex Roberts.
Also open
Remember,
the door. Well, the problem
is
you
a
don't want to
god.
open
That is
the
an
door
incorrect statement.
is because
I'm not a god. I'm a mere mortal.
Pat
A flawed
probably
one at that.
wants you to
However,
shut the fuck up.
I am, for some reason, someone that people seem to tend to like to listen to. I don't know why.
For some reason.
I have no idea. But it's just true.
Believe me, that is a weird thing.
Yeah, the blimp. I would say
Science
another
has yet
crab
to
treasure
figure
right now
out
is turning
why
out to be one
people
of my
like
favorite games of the
listening
year
to this
for sure. I
asshole's
mean,
talk.
considering the games I've played this year, definitely, it's really good. It's getting better the further in I get. Seriously,
All right.
we are fighting optional super bosses, getting awesome abilities as results.
All right.
You know, having a great time. So it is very
Hey,
good.
that one nice guy. How you doing?
I've never played Tunic. No, I have not. Dinner was delicious. It was homemade gumbo. Can I describe the gumbo in detail?
No,
yes,
I
can.
don't believe
Why
that he
can't you
hates
see me? Because
homemade
I'm not on
gumbo.
screen. If you could see me and I wasn't on screen, that'd be a little disturbing. Unless like you're staring at like a photo of me, a personal photo in your home, like you printed one out from the internet and you're staring at it and caressing it lovingly.
Phil,
you know, like
that's
that meme where Wolverine
OIC.
is caressing a picture. It's supposed to be Jean Grey, but they superimpose something else in there. So imagine your Wolverine in full X-Men attire, sitting in bed, caressing.
Oh, you're bringing up
me.
Wolverine.
That would
Thought
be
we weren't
incredibly
bringing up
disturbing.
Detractor
I don't want to
memes.
think about that.
Where's our...
That's why you can't see me.
Ah, there it is. Okay.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, let's see.
What kind of sauce do you use for gumbo? It's a roux. It is a roux sauce, which is a simmered sauce made in a pan with various ingredients. And my wife makes it. What's in it?
No. Oh my god. A roux is a sauce with like flour in it to thicken it. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, dude. Come on. All right. Let's just do that. Ugh.
I actually have no clue.
It really shows he doesn't know a thing about
There's no curry in gumbo. What are you talking about? Oh my god. Enough of this. Enough of Don Fanucci. He said what curry is in the gumbo? There's no curry in gumbo. It's a completely different recipe. What are you saying? You're weird, man.
Phil, you don't know
What's
a
up,
thing.
Maximum Turbo? Good evening. What kind of price level on salsa do I prefer? I prefer a salsa that is above the cost of $1 and below the cost of $1,000. Those are the salsas that I prefer.
Oh my god.
I like that price.
Phil.
$2 to
Just
$999.
go live.
That's where I would buy my
please.
salsa.
This is
Good evening,
embarrassing.
Ever had a foot-long burrito? I don't know. I never really measured. I very well might have. There's a place down the street that does insanely huge burritos, but I never actually like pulled out my tape measure and slapped it next to the burrito to see how long it was.
What are we talking about?
So guys, just so you know, the stream hasn't even started yet. This is just like the pre-stream of me talking with you. I'm going to come on camera and we're going to do 2 hours of true on-camera interaction.
Oh god.
God,
glowies.
I was a little early, so I just turned on the mic and started blabbing. Does one's dumb comment put one on thin ice? No, the ice is already thin. The ice is dangerously paper wafer thin. And then when people say something stupid, cracks form. There you go. Why don't I crack... oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. That was disgusting. Why don't I crack open a nice, refreshing Coors Light? Well, first of all, because I don't have it. And second of all, because it's disgusting. That's why. I would not be drinking Coors Light on this stream under any circumstances. I know, because I've had it. It tastes like if you took good beer and you added water to it, and you filtered it, and then you added water to it, and you filtered it, and you added water to it, and you filtered it, and you filtered it, and you filtered it, and you filtered it, and then you put ice cubes in it, and you diluted it, and then you added more water to it, and you filtered it, and then someone drank it, digested it, pissed it out in a cup, that's Coors Light.
God.
It's really like so watered down bad.
Drags out the joke of it's very watered down. All you guys say is it's watered down. I don't like it.
You like the Dick Lightning fan art? Yes. Of course, that's from the original Elden Ring run 2 years ago, which is a reference to my original Dark Souls 2 run from years way prior to that.
And it's not funny then. It wasn't funny.
I'm not returning to Tekken 8. I'm done with it. I'm done. There's no time to go back to Tekken 8. I just don't have the time to get any better, and I don't want to invest any more time in it because of that. So Tekken 8
I don't want to invest in any
Street Fighter 6 is the
time.
future. The game that I'm actually decent at. I learn. I've improved. Right. I'm excited for the rebalance patch. So Street Fighter 6 is the future of fighting games here on DSP Gaming. That's for sure.
But Phil, you hated.
No,
hated
Bud Light is
Street
way
Fighter
worse than
6
Coors
last
Light.
night.
Bud Light is take everything that I just said, and then put it into like a dirty. Like, did you ever walk down the street and you saw there's like an empty 2-liter on the side of the road that's like encrusted with like filth? Like there's like bugs in there and like scum, dirt. Someone spit a couple spits in there, like big loogies. You put
Are
the
you
Coors Light
not
in there, you shake it all up,
entertained?
and you add water to it. You add water to it, and you add water to it. That's Bud Light. Neither are good. If I had to choose, I actually would drink Coors Light over Bud Light, but I wouldn't drink either.
He would not drink beer. He would drink.
Well, if you thought I was
gin.
pretty good at Tekken 8, I thank you for that because that was the first Tekken I
There we
really
go.
took seriously since the arcade days of the 90s. And I think like within that month that I played it, I got pretty darn good. Month and a half, I guess. It was like mid-February or whatever.
Briscoe is fun.
But, you
to
hit a
play.
wall. You hit a wall, and,
And
I don't want to play this
get,
anymore because I know I can't get better
luchador,
unless I invest way more
shoes.
time. And there's a difference in Street
At least
Fighter
this
when
one.
I'm losing. It's usually because of execution, meaning is it me or is it the game? I don't know. But a lot of the times I'm dropping inputs and
You
shit. Or
always
because of the balance
blame
of the game,
the
where everyone's
game,
using the top
Phil.
tier and spamming this pattern. In Tekken, I'm just losing to complete lack of knowledge. Like I
you
just don't know
always
enough
blame
about
the
the characters
game.
to be able to defend and counter stuff. I would have to study
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
really invest a lot
You're
of time
right,
in it.
Reaper.
and I
All you
don't
gotta
have.
do is say Bud
So.
Light just tastes terrible, and like that is my
Hmm.
opinion. I do not like a lot of light beers because they just don't taste that good. But I'll say this: listen, if you like Bud Light, all that,
All right,
I'm
I'm
like,
gonna be on camera in a
okay,
minute.
you
I'll
go
give it
have
another
fun
minute.
with that. Like,
I'll
you
explain
know,
the premise of what we're doing here tonight, and then we'll begin. Okay? Sound good? The lighting's gonna be off at first because the sun is still out a little bit. But soon that won't be a thing because then I'm gonna have the blinds always closed.
You know
I'm gonna
what?
have the air conditioner in when I come back on Friday.
16
So
years, he
that won't
still
even be a
can't
thing anymore. There will be no
understand
outdoor
how to.
light coming in pretty
Oh my
much.
god, how is this guy like every aspect of
You
video
want to see my
production
beautiful
he
face?
doesn't
You
know
came to the
a
wrong
thing
place because
about?
indeed I am not beautiful.
Oh, that's
This is
right,
the
because
wrong place for
he
beauty.
thinks that he could
Like
just
that.
stand
What's up,
and
Game Boy? Good evening. How you doing?
oh hey, I'll just sit on the thing and that will get me money.
What beer do I prefer? I really don't because I don't drink beer that often anymore. I've had a few different beers. I used
See,
to drink
and
a
there
beer
you go.
like
Womp
Sam
womp.
Adams.
He doesn't drink beer. He's a gin guy.
or what was
He's
the
a
other one that I
hard
used to
liquor
drink?
guy.
Oh. Sometimes I like a Blue Moon because the Blue Moon has that citrusness to it. I like the citrus flavor. And if I want something that like I'm like hungry and I want a beer, I'll drink a Guinness because Guinness is like hardy ass, thick ass beer, right? Dark.
But this
bitter,
motherfucker would not drink
thick ass
Guinness.
foam.
I don't
It
see
actually
this
fills your
motherfucker
stomach.
drinking Guinness.
But I don't drink beer regularly at all anymore. I've had it many years.
I was
so.
going to say, don't say that you don't drink. Be very careful about that.
No, I haven't had any new sodas. There's a Dr. Pepper coconut and a cherry limeade Sprite. I know. I
Ooh,
was not aware of
cherry
those. I don't really
limeade
drink soda. That's
Sprite.
why. I don't really drink soda.
That
As I
sounds
get older, I don't need the sugar.
cool.
And I don't need the sugar in
Ooh,
my
I would
blood, and I
like-
don't need the sugar on
I
my
would like a
teeth. As I get
cherry
older,
limeade
everything
Sprite.
hurts. So
That sounds
I try to
kinda
stay away from sugary
interesting.
drinks.
To be completely
I have
honest.
never had Rolling Rock. Nope, not once.
Hey, SCP, how's it going? You're just... Oh, slow
All right.
tide.
Shall I come on camera, explain the premise and everything, and then we get started?
Explain the
Shall I? Are there? I don't even know how many people are here tonight.
premise. What premise is there? Oh, guess what? I'm just going to have a 2-hour Q&A. Like, oh, that's a premise that needs to be explained.
8. That's a good amount. I wonder if we'll get more. The premise of the stream. What do you think? The premise of what? All right, I'm going to drop it on you. Actually, tonight, I'm a private investigator, and you're all trapped on the stream. You're not allowed to leave because you're all suspects in a homicide. So tonight, I'm going to interrogate each and every one of you on stream to unveil the clues. I have to reveal the truth
you
of
were
what's
like
happened.
the anti-Columbo.
And tonight, we're going to have a 2-hour murder mystery here on DSP Gaming, and one of you is going to jail. All right? Which one of you?
Phil, you think you're fucking Columbo.
What do you think? The premise of what? The premise of the stream. What we're going to do tonight. No, it's not a murder mystery. One of you is a heinous villain.
One of you is a heinous villain.
Yes,
Phil,
you didn't
that's
know?
you, obviously.
Oh, I knew when I started the stream. I could smell that heinous villain from a mile away. Let me tell you guys something.
You could smell a heinous villain. Phil, that is because some of your friends don't actually
All right, shall we begin here? Let me come back. Actually, I know it's going to be too bright, so the coloring's going to be off to start, just to forewarn all of you. It'll be a little too bright, but after a little bit, the lighting outside is going to calm down, and then it'll actually be like the regular lighting. Actually, it's not that bad. It actually looked worse like 10 minutes ago. So, all right. Shall we do it? Here, I'll start recording. We'll do the intro, and we'll go from there. Here we go.
Stay alive.
Hello, well, hi. Good evening. Welcome to Late Night Chill with Phil here on DSP Gaming. It is May 8th, 2024. It's the night stream, and we have really nothing particularly that we have to do today. Meaning, gameplay, we're pretty good right now. We're making progress in the playthroughs I'm doing. We've played multiplayer stuff this week. I didn't feel like trying to squeeze any random thing in. In addition to that, we've been doing these kind of interactive streams for the last few months. I think we actually started doing them in like February, where like just once a month, we do a night stream where I hang out with you guys and we have a couple hours of conversation. Typically what I found is that people seem to show up, engage, and support these streams. They like just hanging out with me. And I think as I get older, this is going to be something that's going to become more common.
It's easy
like
and
more just hanging out than
lazy.
having a premise to hang out. Like I don't need to be sitting here playing a video game for us to have a fun stream, right? I don't need to be reacting to any content. We can just kind of talk and let the night go where it goes and have a good time together.
Let the night go where it goes. That sounds like
a lot more fun than say my 17 or 18 stream of an ongoing playthrough. So I've enjoyed doing this, and like I said, as I get older, I feel like
let the night go where it goes kind of sounds like you're trying to wine and dine and fuck your audience,
rather than
Phil.
just gameplay.
Are you trying to?
I don't want to do it too often. If I do these streams too often, then they don't feel special. Then I'm doing it too much, and then oh, not a big deal to just do it. But I definitely would like to do these from time to time, and I felt like it was time to do one because we didn't have anything else to do tonight anyway. FYI, this is 100% a very interactive stream, meaning I'm going to be talking directly with people pretty much all night. Whether that's if a contribution of some type comes in, like a super chat or a membership or a tip, and I react to the person's message in that, or if people tag me in the stream chat and then I just go Q&A there. So there you go. All right, so let's see how it goes, how the night takes us. The lighting right now is slightly off because it's still kind of sunny outside, but the sun is currently going down. As the sun goes down over the next 2 hours, the lighting will be even better in my office here. So there you have it. It's time for Late Night Chill with Phil here on DSP Gaming. All right, so let's start off the night right. Let's see what people have to talk about. The first question of the night is Kazumi Natsume Gaming says, can we be pals online? No, cannot. You cannot be pals online. I am a person who is a streamer, a content creator. There's one of me, many of you. There's no way that I can personally have a pal-like relationship with every person out there. We can hang out and talk, but we can't be close personal pals. That's just never going to happen. Yeah, I'm not like those other creators who overpromises to try to get something out of you. I'm going to be straight with you, all right? I got a busy life,
I don't overpromise and underdeliver. Phil, yes, you do.
There you go. How was another Crab's Treasure today? Asks Rush Fan. Great.
Look at
now there was a catch. They rebalanced the game. A patch came out and nerfed.
Look at this Late Night Chill with Phil. It's just
my build. So I had these 2 items equipped that were giving me tons of bonus attack, and they didn't do that anymore. And I was like, well, that sucks. So I removed them, and I had a different build that was based more on massive stun. And then I went out and continued to do the optional exploration, and I went all the way back through the other areas that I've been and broke all those glowing cubes, got tons of items. And then as I was exploring, I found an optional super boss, beat the boss, and that boss gave me a new special attack that's even better than what I was doing before. Now when I attack, I have a giant
afraid of even these chill kind of streams getting claimed because he just needs.
It's great. I'm having a great time with the game, and we even made a lot of progress. We went to the new dungeon, the Veil, and we got a big chunk through it. So great progress today. The game is great. I definitely recommend another Crab's Treasure to anyone who likes a Souls-like game. It's super good.
Wait, the crab game is a Soulsborne game? Oh my lord. Oh my god.
Can I speak to my opinions on the Tales of series? Well, Scallywag, I don't have many opinions.
This is the 2-hour
The first Tales of game I ever played was Tales of Vesperia. And I played that before I was a YouTuber. That was actually a year of transition for me because I had been a pro Street Fighter player for like a decade. And then I got a bit bad back.
A year of transition. Oh, I'm sure OIC would love to hear about this. Oh, he's talking about his bad back. He's about to trigger poor Steve again.
Back injury, a big herniated disc in my lower back. I couldn't really drive or travel that much anymore. And so I wanted to be re-immersed into console gaming.
You haven't gotten that
so
fixed.
I played a wide variety of games from the year of 2007 and 2008. And one of them was Tales of Vesperia.
You do know that, right?
I love the art style. I love the music. I love the combat that was action-based, where one character would do a big combo, drag into the next character, they continue the combo and stuff. And the story also. Like, I really love the game. I think I'm almost positive I 100%ed it. Like, I got every achievement.
Why are we
on
using
Xbox
up our...
I played it on Xbox, yeah.
Supers?
So that was that one. The next one that I played was when I was a YouTuber, and it was called Tales of Exilia. Now, I'm going to be honest, I thought it was good, but not as good as Vesperia. I thought that, sadly, the game had a lot of grindy stuff and just too much kind of repetitive content. And I remember doing a giant playthrough of it. It was very lengthy, but I just didn't like it as much as the first. Then they made a Tales of Exilia 2. Oh. And actually, that one I got so bored of, I never finished it. I played like maybe a third into it, halfway, and I quit, and I never went back.
Okay.
So, and that's it. Like, I think at one point I went back to try to play Tales of Symphonia when they remade it in HD, and it never really went anywhere, and I dropped that one too. So, from what I played, I really liked Vesperia. I thought Exilia was decent. And that's about it. I never played
Oh yeah.
So that's the extent of my knowledge.
Well,
that's
the thing. He has made it
this
his own hell.
First contribution of the night has rolled in. A $25 tip from Dan the Man to start the night. Thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate that. Thank you for the first tip. And have a little Roll Julia Phil for you there as a reward. Where is the freaking leaderboard? There it is. Like, where the hell is it? Dan the Man, thank you so much. Maybe by the end of the night I'll be wearing that hat. Right? I guess we'll see.
Okay, that's a...
Okay.
Oh, that is a...
Thank you to Maximum Turbo. Maximum Turbo gifted a membership to the community, and it went to Rush Fan. Congrats, Rush Fan. Just asked me a question. If you enjoy it, thank you, Maximum Turbo, for supporting the channel. Let's see here.
Fuck, dude.
What would I recommend to a new streamer to do? What would I recommend a new streamer do to cultivate support and mature? Supportive. I can't speak. What would I recommend a new streamer does to cultivate a supportive and mature community like mine? I don't know, because I've been around for 16 years. So a new streamer can't exactly overnight get what I've had in 16 years, you know? My old audience when I first started on YouTube was very mature and young. You know, I was in my late 20s, but I was trying to appeal to an audience that was probably in their teens. So I was coming out with videos with ridiculously stupid commentary and stuff and bad jokes and stuff like that, but they ate it up for years and years. Today my content is so different because I feel like my audience has grown and matured with me. I mean, every day I get people coming by saying, hey, yeah, I was in teens or 20s when I started watching you. And, you know, I went on a hiatus, came back. It's really cool you're still making content and like that you've changed and you're a different content creator now. So I can't really give you advice on that besides be around for 16 years. Right? Gameboy says, don't you think this would be better on DSP Reacts? I very well could stream this on DSP Reacts. However, I don't really think it adds anything to either channel. Like, it could be on either. It's fine, honestly.
Maybe stop streaming on all these different channels.
Because there's no other gameplay here tonight or anything. It's not like, oh, I flooded the channel with videos today or anything. It should be fine. Easy Steve. Thanks for a super chat. First one of the night. And he says, I just came by to say screw Phil Spencer and Microsoft. Yeah, you can't just say screw Phil Spencer. You also have to say screw Matt Booty, who is the head of Xbox, who is just as guilty
I am a
as Phil
child,
Spencer.
But screw Matt Booty.
Did you know Matt Booty? I'm not kidding you. This actually happened
to
today.
me.
Matt Booty sent out an all-hands communication, all right, where basically I guess everyone was like on a call or something. And on the call, Matt Booty says to all his employees, you know what we need to work on? Smaller scale games that are getting a lot of recognition and attention in the gaming community.
And then he
just laid off Tango Gameworks, who made Hi-Fi Rush, a small scale game that won multiple game awards. And he says they need to make more of that game. So I really don't want to rant about Phil Spencer and Matt Booty anymore. I talked about this yesterday on the podcast at length. I really feel like they are screwed. Like, just to give you guys some perspective, June 9th, that is roughly 1 month from tonight.
Oh, thank you.
They have a big Xbox digital event going on. It's kind of like their E3 because there's no E3 anymore. Does anyone have any confidence that that event's going to be any good, or that anything that's actually announced during that segment will even need to be paid attention to? Here's what I mean. So let's say they have a big expose on Avowed. Excuse me. This is the new game from Obsidian. So, oh my God, Avowed looks great. Wow. And then Avowed comes out and people buy it. And then they sell off or close Obsidian. Right? Why would you have faith in Microsoft now to come out with any good games that are worth putting your attention into when at any moment's notice for no good reason they can just
admit the fact that
they literally said today this is the kind of game
that
we're making,
and
the studio that made the game, they just closed.
Okay. Phil, how about this? Part of this is your fault, and how about you admit that you being all rah, Microsoft buying Activision is good for gaming and all that. How about you kind of admit that that was wrong, and that has really sped up the destruction of Xbox? Oh, we died. We wiped. Because
So
that's what
the
happened.
people in charge
It
over there
sped
don't
it
know what
up
they're doing,
because
and it sucks because
$80
I like
billion.
here's the-
They spent $80 billion, and now they need some return on profit. And they don't have it. And whoopsie. Yep, you're right, Reapcat. Yeah, they had no plan at all.
thing. I like having competition. Okay? I like when there's Sony versus Nintendo versus Xbox. Why? Because when you have competition, everyone is inspired to try to do better than the other, right?
But Phil, you
right now, what
shit
we have,
on
there is
Nintendo.
no competition at all. There's just Sony is over here doing their own thing, Xbox is over here doing their own thing, Nintendo's over here doing their own thing, and there really is no competition or console war. Sony is spanking Xbox, Nintendo is spanking everyone, but can you even say that they're equivalent products being put out? So when there's
he literally wants the console wars because he thinks that's how you know the competition is thing. It's like, Phil, like that's just, yeah, he wants console wars. He is literally just, he believes in the marketing. He's gotten brainwashed by the marketing.
there's no true competition, everyone just kind of flounders, and I think that's what's happening right now. You know, Xbox doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Their management are a joke. They don't know how to steer the ship in a correct direction. They're making worse and worse and worse decisions over and over, right? Sony's honestly no better. They almost botched Helldivers 2. They were about to botch their biggest game release in ages, right? Like, holy moly. Anyway, let's not talk about this all night.
Only children on console wars.
Mr. Game Master,
because the fact is that he
did a super chat, and he says, earlier I said I played
he
Lost Odyssey for the first time, and I love it. Have you played it?
marketing hype.
I'll be down to watch you play it in Blue Dragon. I did.
That's
I played it before. Again, that, I
believes in the
literally just
marketing
addressed this
hype.
earlier. That year or so, when I was quitting being a pro Street Fighter player, essentially,
he just that's what this
and
is.
I was becoming
He
a gamer
believes
again,
in
being reimmersed
marketing
into
hype.
console games instead of Street Fighter. I played Blue Dragon and I played Lost Odyssey,
mean,
and I loved both of those games. I already did.
But this is why he also
play
would say
Blue
shit
Dragon
like,
many years ago, direct capture. There was no face cam, I don't think, but it was full direct capture for the audience. But I
That's
never
why
played
he
Lost
would
Odyssey.
always
It's
say
always
like,
been kind of a
you
bucket
know,
list thing I
we
want to
don't
do.
need
I
exclusives.
have the rights to it on Xbox. I could literally download it and play it whenever. But as you know,
Without
JRPGs
exclusives,
around here have
guess
not
what?
been doing very well. JRPGs around here have been doing poorly. Everyone I try has been failing, so
Without-
I'm laying off on JRPGs for a bit.
Yeah, but you're still doing
Okay.
RPGs. I thought it was RPG
Oh, let's see here.
overload.
Ludacris says, how do you get your name on a tip? All you have to do is send a tip, and in the body of the tip say, hey, this is so-and-so, and here's what I want to say. And that's it. If you don't do that, I don't get any information to know what to call you, so I just say it's anonymous. Okay? I've never played a trading card game, ever. No. I never played Yu-Gi-Oh! I never played Pokemon. I never played Magic the Gathering. No. Absolutely not.
Oh, we're gonna die. Okay,
Does it really feel like 16 years since I started? Or does it feel like only yesterday? Let me put it this way. I have eras. I really do. Like
I am
the initial
surprised we
era
got
of like
through that
2008
that wave.
to 2013. Excuse me. Yeah, I would say maybe 2012. 2008 to 2012 feels like my early years where I was just a guy flubbing it, being stupid and irreverent on the internet, saying whatever, doing whatever, trying to get views and just being silly. And that was the height of my popularity. Then I would say 2013 to 2017 was my middle period, which sadly I would say was my worst period, where I was getting burnt out. I was very stressed out. I moved across the country and I was financially in a really bad place. Mentally, I was falling into a really bad place.
Phil.
And it just
Should've
kind of
stayed in that
deteriorated.
condo
It was me
in
being very
Connecticut.
agitated towards the audience a lot, arguing about detractors and shit like that constantly. You know, angry, this is how
You
you don't
still
play.
argue
angry, false
about
copyright strikes,
detractors,
constant
Phil.
anger, right? And then I would say 2017 was the turnaround year for me where I changed and became more of an
Never
open,
changed,
interactive
Phil.
guy with constant live streams, constant talking, discussion back and forth with all of you.
You
I feel like
don't
that's the
ever
turning point of my
change.
life, quite frankly, because that's when everything changed, right? My personal relationships they broke apart, but then I met my wife, started that beautiful relationship.
Yeah, look at that.
I started getting my life
He-
back
the whole
together. It
thing
was
of
the first steps to
we're
me
gonna
trying to take
blame
steps to get financially
blaming
sound again.
Leanna.
You know, and it's been a rough ride, don't get me wrong, but right now, like I keep telling you guys, I'm the happiest I've been. So
Sure.
this third era is really the more modern era, and to me, no,
The
I'm not
third
tired
era is
in
the
any way,
modern
shape, or
era.
form of being a YouTuber of this magnitude, of this style. Okay, this is cool. If I just kept for 16 years being old Phil, I would hate myself in my job and not want to do it anymore.
You
Thankfully,
do hate yourself,
I've changed.
Phil. It's obvious you do. Like, Phil, it is obvious you hate your job. Every time you turn off the every time you turn off your camera, we see, every time you go to turn that off, we see how much you hate your job.
For the better. So there you go. Good evening, Avarice. No, I never competed in a DDR tournament. The Blimp says he met me. He ran into me at first during COVID, and that my content during that time was actually a godsend. Everything since Elden Ring has been fantastic. I'm glad to hear you say that. Thank you. That's a very nice compliment. Do I like Red Lobster? No, they're terrible. They're filing for bankruptcy. I'm not surprised. No, I don't know any magic tricks. Drunken Weasel did a super chat. Says, do you think Bethesda jumped the gun with Elder Scrolls 6 trailer being announced 5 years ago?
300, yeah.
There was no trailer. You realize that, right?
It's obvious.
You know that, right?
Is...
There's no trailer.
Oh, God,
it was just a teaser to show the title to say it was in development. They've not shown a trailer for Elder Scrolls 6. Some people seem to be under a false impression here. Like it was just, we're making it, and that was it. I hate this. Because, you know, if they didn't do that, people would have been like, gee, do you think they're going to make a new Elder Scrolls? And everyone would have said, well, yeah, they probably are, but there's no announcement yet. So that was the announcement that they are, but that was it. So.
I hate Glowflies just because the fact is,
will Elder Scrolls 6 be an Xbox exclusive?
Like
no, it'll be Xbox PC at the least. And if they're smart, they will port it to PlayStation as well. They'd be pretty dumb not to. And then, of course, like Skyrim, they'll probably port it to the Nintendo console 10 years later. Is Hellblade 2 coming out in 2 weeks? It comes out on the 21st. So that would be a little under 2 weeks, yes. Have I considered seeing a shrink? Have I considered in my life seeing a shrink? Yes. Am I currently seeing a shrink?
Have you considered getting help, Phil?
But I have considered seeing a shrink in my life. Whether or not I ever did see a shrink is none of your business, but I'm not currently seeing a shrink. There's nothing wrong with seeing a shrink or a psychiatrist.
But there's nothing wrong with Phil.
You know, any
Phil
kind
will
of
say
emotional or
he's
mental
not
problems,
doesn't
that's
need
fine.
to see a shrink.
It's like everything else. Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Let's see here.
I got you, buddy.
A $3.98 tip from the massive throbbing boner. Question that the massive throbbing boner has presented to me tonight is, have you considered selling your used clothes such as underwear, shirts, and socks to fans? People might pay good money.
What? Underwear?
Well,
fuck off. Oh, God.
Someone else might say yes, that's a good idea.
Oh, my God,
however,
I hate these folks.
In my case, and this is not a lie, I wear things till they are worn out and done. Meaning they cannot be reworn. There's no point in saving them. That's the kind of guy I am. I don't just throw stuff out willy-nilly.
Phil, and that's why you had a whole thing talking about how you had holes in your boxer shorts that nobody needed to know about. Phil, it's okay to donate old clothes. Like, your gamer shirts are falling apart, and really what it is it's because of his addiction. He is so addicted, he can't spend money anywhere else, so he doesn't want to buy clothes.
I don't like it. I just wear everything I have till it's completely worn out as heck. I have clothes that are 15, 20 years old. The vest is from the beginning of my YouTube career. That's 15 years old. You know, the original beige vest. I still have pants that I have from when I worked at helicopter support. I bought them when I went on a clothes shopping trip back then. You know, so yeah, like you would not buy
he would have had
clothes from me because I technically don't have clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like everything I have is so worn out that it wouldn't even, you know, be wearable. Holes, like the last pair of shoes I threw out had holes through the soles. I kid you not.
This is addict behavior. This is what addicts do. Addicts will, you know, go through all the... What he's doing is he's trying to rationalize the fact that he has an addict behavior. He's trying to rationalize it. Oh, you know, I don't like throwing... I wear it till I wore out. But, Phil, like... wearing shoes until they have like holes in your soles is really bad for your back support, Phil. Like, you should not do that. Like, you should definitely, you know, have good soles. It's like, come on now. Like, especially for things like undershirts and underwear, you need to switch them out like every 1 or 2 years. Like, but it's this.
Ludacris says that wasn't him. Okay, no, I know it wasn't you. I didn't think that you said their name was like Big Throbbing Boner. I didn't think that your name was Big Throbbing Boner, Ludacris. Of course not. That'd be very, very ridiculous. You would never name yourself that. You're smarter than that. Dapian says the old Blanca shirt you have. How old is that? It looks pretty faded. Was it 2009? It was when I first started covering Street Fighter 4, and I was very prominent on YouTube for covering Street Fighter 4. I was one of the biggest guys covering it at the time. Had more views than anyone in the FGC or anything like that.
It's not just
so
faded,
fans
it's
loved
also
my content, and Blanca was my main,
yellowing,
meaning the best character I was best with. And so a fan actually made that shirt. I didn't ask for it or pay for it. A fan made it and just mailed it to me. So it's from 2009. Yeah, so that shirt is a good 15 years old. What am I most proud of as a content creator? That I am able to entertain an audience, that I'm told that that audience enjoys what I do and finds meaning in it, but it's not harmful content. I am told that they like it. I don't put out, you know, stupid tabloid-esque rumors and hearsay and hurtful stuff about other people. that the stuff that I do is meaningful, chill, fun, in good humor, good faith.
I hate when he always uses meaningful.
I'm not getting
it
over
really
by creating
is
others.
his
That's what I'm most proud
go-to
of.
thing.
I'm not exploiting anyone, right? I'm not.
You're
anyone.
not.
I'm not
That's
talking
debatable.
trash
Phil.
about someone. I'm able to just have a fun, positive community of people that enjoy what I do without causing harm to other people on the planet.
I mean, I would say you cause harm when you
cannot say that. Sadly.
beg and
Some
when
can,
you,
but not a lot. Especially YouTubers in general. They tend to go the wrong way or do something that's kind of underhanded to get ahead, and I've never done
Phil,
it.
you have shat on Mr. Beast.
Let's see.
Okay, Mr. Beast's charitable thing saying, "Oh, he's not doing it for. He's doing it for." It's like Phil.
Bobble says that my
Mr.
old
Beast
podcast
does more
like the
charitable
old
and
used to help him get through physiotherapy
great
sessions.
work than you will ever do.
You know, that's what I'm telling people about. Is it's not always about just playing a game. Like me just having these cool, chill podcasts or a chill night stream, a hangout session. This stuff is stuff you can just turn on and just walk away and listen to, and you could do other things in your day. If you work out, this is probably something good to hit play and work out. You're not missing nothing. Not looking at my
really
mode,
thinks
right?
that he-
You don't need to see this face the whole time. Just turn it on. Listen to stuff in the background. It's all good. I'm glad to hear that it helps out.
Maybe
people,
have
man.
some
It's good
music.
stuff.
Get some I don't know, public domain music, or pay somebody
Hut or
on
Domino's,
Fiverr
they're
to
both
make
terrible.
you some,
I
some
wouldn't choose to eat
background
either.
music.
They're both really bad today, sadly.
You could do that.
Am I wearing shorts or pants? Oh, I've been wearing shorts for about a month. I already did my transition from pants to shorts, and I'll be wearing shorts.
Come on, somebody
throughout
asked
the
about the
spring
Zelda
into summer and probably
jammies.
into the early fall.
Did
until it
they
cools down
die
enough
of the
that then those air
shartening?
conditioners can come out of the windows, which aren't in yet. They're going in tomorrow. And then we'll swatch over again. There you go. Han Solo says the other day I was driving in my car and I was listening to your story about Cold Stone Creameries. Cool. Aseo, how are you tonight? Good to see you. Anso Kabaru says, but Pizza Hut cinnamon sticks. I don't care. That stuff is disgusting, man. I hate that stuff. It's a shame because Pizza Hut legit was good. They had sit-down restaurants where you could go with the family. They made big pan-style pizzas that were actually really delicious. They were crispy and golden around the edges with that buttery flavor. But they were
look at
chewy
talking
and good
about
in the middle.
food.
And you could have different toppings, and each one gets a square. With one of those big pizzas, you get the squares. And they had great fresh breadsticks with the marinara sauce you dip right in, and they were crunchy. And they would sprinkle them with that Parmesan cheese. You know, they were a good restaurant. And they just legit ruined their entire menu to become a delivery place to compete with Domino's. They completely lost their way. Dad.
Phil, does he
I don't
really
think I've
think
ever
that
eaten
Pizza
grits,
Hut
King
was
Michael, so I don't
never
know if I would
a
like it or
fucking
not.
delivery place? Did I hear
What's
this
up, Toki
motherfucker
Manx? How are you
right?
tonight? Welcome to the stream. How am I feeling
Did
tonight?
I hear
I'm
this
feeling good.
motherfucker right?
I feel good. I'm ready to chill and hang out and talk with you guys.
Oh
A while back, I mentioned
God.
Freschetta was my favorite frozen pizza. Is that still the case? We still get Freschetta sometimes, but our local
we're not gonna
store
get
has
this,
like a store brand that's
let's
actually
wait, we're
not
gonna
half
lose.
bad, and it just so happens it's cheap a lot. So sometimes they'll be like, you could buy 2 for like $8. Like, sure, let's get 2
Yeah,
frozen
we're not
pizzas,
unless we're
like
getting
one a week,
2.
right? And,
Yeah, no, that's
it's not
gonna
terrible.
happen.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, it's all right, you know. But if we were to get a frozen pizza, the one that we like the most is Freschetta. Like we tried DiGiorno, we tried the
Oh
the
yeah,
thin
Phil's
crust
never done
ones,
anything
we
charitable.
tried various
Remember,
other ones.
if
It
there's
seems like the
something
Freschetta is the
charitable,
best combination
he
of,
wants
like,
his
a
fans
crust
to do
that's
it
good,
for him,
a sauce that's
so he
good,
can take credit
good amount
for
of toppings. The toppings taste good. It's not overly greasy.
He won't
DiGiorno,
do,
like,
like, a
I think is
giveaway
overly
for any of
greasy
his
in a lot of
stuff.
cases. They always say, oh, the meat's fucking
Oh,
100
if he
meats
wants
on
to do
the
a
pizza.
giveaway,
Like,
you
that's
have
too
to give
much.
him something. Oh well, I'll take that pay cut. Whatever.
I've only had Little Caesars once ever. It was for DSP Tries It over a decade ago in Connecticut. There was one that had just opened up near me in Connecticut. I went and tried
Little
it, and it was just kind of
Caesars.
meh. It wasn't
You know
great,
what?
but it wasn't terrible either.
If
I've never
you
eaten
got
it
$5
since, so I
for a
don't know what
pizza and
Little
you
Caesars
need
like
it
today.
now, it's
I played Fortnite ages ago,
tolerable,
Drunken
not
Weasel.
great,
No, I have no
but
desire to play it again, so
tolerable.
I don't think about playing it right now.
I love when he was shitting on Pizza Hut, like, oh, they went to be a delivery thing. Like, they were always delivery, Phil. There were always
Have I
Pizza
considered
Huts that
hiring
were
a color
delivery,
analyst?
and
No, I just buy what I think looks good, and then I consult my wife, and sometimes she's like, I like this, I don't like this, so I narrow it down with that input, and then that's how I get the clothes.
part of it was, I think, they just
you go.
had
No, I've not tried the
businesses
Zero
just
Bar.
on
I
their
have Han
pizza's
Solo. I've
not
not had a candy
that
bar.
great.
I couldn't tell you the last time I owned a candy bar. The last candy we had, we bought for Christmas, so we don't have candy in the house right now.
Ow. Damn.
Favorite coffee flavors? For me, it's not about
Get
flavor
out
or
of-
type. Like, I drink a Hawaiian blend coffee. I think it's partially like regular Colombian, but then it has this Hawaiian blend in it that makes it a little bit more acidic and a little bit different flavor. So I do their dark roast, and then I do their vanilla and macadamia nut roast. And no, I don't put creamer in, I don't put sugar in, I just drink it black.
He drinks it black, just like how Cat
Did I
takes
ever
her
watch a
men.
Batman Arkham playthrough through the Throwback channel? Maybe. The old ones were camera. It wasn't until Arkham Knight that I was doing direct capture. The first 2, I believe, were camera pointed at the TV, correct? So that's how I'm
Correct.
qualifying what I do old school reactions to on the throwback channel. Is it has to be old enough that I wasn't doing direct capture, because that's truly the throwback content that makes sense for that channel.
Giveaways from over a decade
I know at some
ago,
point in
yeah?
the future people might even consider the direct capture footage
Giveaways
throwback stuff as I
and,
go forward, and then maybe we consider. But now we have
giveaways
such a
where
body
he
of
will
work to get
give
through from
you
2008 to early 2013
box
that I think we should
that
stick
was
to that stuff.
signed.
And yeah, the
Oh my
older
God.
Arkham playthroughs would be considered that style
We're
of
getting our
throwback content
asses
if people were
kicked
interested.
today.
In fact, on Sunday night we have to make a poll for the next Retro React event. I'm not sure what we're
All
going
right.
to do. By the way, FYI,
Thank you.
I was perusing something the other day. Hold on.
There we go. Oh,
I was perusing the files on this hard drive. This is my external hard drive, which I used from November 2010 till July 2011. This hard drive contains many different gameplay videos and
hello,
vlogs,
my name
including
is
the Blip
really
TV
that's what you that's the
stints that I
sticker
did for
you
2 or 3
use,
months.
Phil? Okay.
All the year-end videos for 2010. Tons of travel vlogs, including a trip to New York City that I did in early 2011, as well as the trip to Nashville for
Oh,
the
if
SBO
it was end of
qualifiers.
2010,
And
it would
the
have the
Noir playthrough.
blip video.
This particular hard drive has a lot of lost footage on it that you currently cannot watch anywhere on the internet. And this is what I'm working on next. The LA Noir playthrough is starting as soon as Final Fantasy 13 ends. As for all the other stuff I just mentioned, that might be what I do next. All right. And look, I was looking at it, and I think definitely the New York City trip is interesting because it's kind of tourism footage. It's not necessarily gameplay related. And also, the Nashville footage has funny videos of us trying out terrible games at an arcade and stuff, but also some
but
travel stuff as well.
You're gonna
And it's
have
been
to
just
talk
gone
about
for
Leanna.
good.
You don't like
Deleted
talking
from the
about
internet.
Leanna.
So that's good stuff, right?
like to
In addition,
blame
there's some
her
other
for a
things
lot
on
of
there
shit.
that I have to figure out if it would be viable to even put on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So I got to look into it. But LA Noir is next. And then we may have some other stuff from this hard drive that's been missing forever. Go to the throwback channel soon after or during that stuff. Okay. So there you go. Well, some shout outs to do. Spawn Killer just did a super chat. He says, would you react to Riddick Assault on Athena? Sure. That's the Chronicles of Riddick game, right? Why wouldn't I? That's a retro playthrough, correct? I know the quality probably looks atrocious, but if people wanted me to, the thing is, like, there's not really a lot of demand for a lot of those older ones because people don't remember them.
Riddick
who
is
remembers
cool
the
because
Chronicles of
Vin
Riddick video
Diesel
game,
really cares about that
right?
character.
No one really thinks about it in 2024. Moxer says, I'm glad you cleared that up. I was wondering why, when you were doing your retro react, you were reacting to the original Bully playthrough from 2013 and not the direct capture version from 2018. Because the point of throwback is this: to get this old content
And
either on the
that
internet that's
Bully
missing,
thing also
or to
didn't seem
remaster
to
this
have
content
the,
so it looks better for a modern audience, or to react to some of my original playthroughs that definitely would be considered different than the style I do now, right? Like, I wouldn't be reacting to something I did in the last 5 years. Why on earth would I do that when it's too similar and too recent? You want to see the old stuff. You want to see old Phil's kind of commentary and reaction so we can all react to that and laugh at it and, you know, cringe at it or whatever. That's where the entertainment value comes from that stuff, right?
He has to stole the sticker when he's at Best
Let's see
Buy.
here.
Inside box from
I received a $2 tip
signed by Phil. Yeah.
from Brand Flakes. I can't decide between Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mass Effect Trilogy. I've played neither. Which would you choose? Well, it's really, I mean, first of all, it's not even a fair question. All right. Allow me to go put the hard drive back and then I'll thoroughly answer this question.
Let me waste time.
Like, basically, that's not an apples to oranges comparison. If you had said, I can't decide between Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom against the Mass Effect trilogy, I'd be like, okay, that's more equivalent. You're saying one game versus three? Like, of course, if I could only play one game or I could play three, what should I do? Play the three, right? I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. But if you're comparing equivalent to two franchises, well, here's the thing, okay? Zelda Breath of the Wild is outstanding. It's super good. Is it the best Zelda game ever? I don't think so, but it is very good, okay? It has a lot of new implementations and modernizations that people have wanted in Zelda for ages, you know, and they're finally in there, and it's well implemented too. The only shortcoming of that game, honestly, is the graphics. The graphics stink because on the Wii U, it didn't, and on the Switch, they didn't run very well. You know, it was kind of an unfortunate thing that it couldn't look next gen. It had to be, you know, cell shaded or whatever.
Oh my
Kingdom.
Oh my God, I am so tired of hearing him talk about cell shaded being bad. He really, this really just is another thing. He is such a graphics whore. Like that's all it is. He is just a graphics whore. And it's like, Phil, you need, like, no, the graphics were fine. You don't have to have mocap ultra, you know, You have to have mocap ultra
improves
realism
upon many
for
gameplay
your
aspects,
goddamn
adding a
games.
sky world and an underground world and all this crazy physics puzzles and building mechanics. And you
Yeah.
know, it's really interesting how they expanded upon the original formula of the original game. But at the same time, it is the same
Oh,
world
yep,
technically.
that's-
But as a series, they're both really good games. Okay, Mass Effect, the
King
first game in my
Salmon.
opinion
Let's
is
see what we got.
outstanding. It has
Hey,
RPG
JDX,
elements,
how you
action elements,
doing?
great narrative,
Yeah,
dialogue
Borderlands
trees,
1
that
still
actually
makes this
determine
still look good.
relationships,
Yeah.
important choices on if people live or die. It's well written. It's got an outstanding story that hooks you. And the best part about the Mass Effect, the universe building and lore. Like, for example, when you say Star Trek, what do you think of? The Enterprise ship, Klingons,
The
phasers,
Enterprise
teleporters.
ship.
Beam me down, Scotty, right? When you think Star Wars, what do you
Beam
think?
me down, Scotty?
Lightsabers and Darth Vader and Wookiees. So when you think
Oh,
Mass Effect,
wow. Talk
you
about a
immediately think about all
fake-ass
the cool
fan.
alien races, the Krogan, the Turians, the Asari. Ooh, the Reapers are coming, right? You have those pieces of lore that are key parts of the franchise.
Oh my
that
God,
immediately
am I-
give you that cool sci-fi
Oh, you
feeling
gotta
of an
be
awesome
kidding me.
and interesting, intricate world that was handcrafted by smart people. You know, they knew what they were doing when they made that
Handcrafted
universe.
by smart
But I will
people.
warn you.
Sure.
The Mass Effect trilogy starts here. The Mass Effect trilogy starts here, and sadly goes on a decline. The first game, in my opinion, is the best, but also is the most outdated. Meaning you might find grindy portions or portions where the difficulty spikes for no good reason because it's an outdated game. Mass Effect 2 is a little bit more modern, but the main storyline sucks. The strengths of Mass Effect 2 come into play with the side characters who you're recruiting to your team, and you do their loyalty missions. That's the best part of the game. The main plot actually stinks. Mass Effect 3 is arguably a bad game. It wraps up a lot of plot lines that you've been doing throughout the
Arguably
entire
a bad
trilogy,
game.
but the overall ending of the story arc is atrociously annoying and underwhelming. It does end the plot, just not in a satisfying way for anybody, and that's why
Alright,
people hated
let's-
it so much when it finally came out and ended. People were like, "That's the ending." So, I mean, honestly, if you again direct comparison, I think that overall, if you like sci-fi universes and you like RPG style gameplay,
I don't think
all
we're
right, Mass Effect
Ooh,
1 and
we
2
could,
are
I
outstanding
mean-
and probably the best of all the games you just asked about. Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom are also really great games. The one that really stands out as a stinker is Mass Effect 3. That's the worst out of all of those, for sure. So it depends on what you like more. Do you like Zelda? Do you like fantasy RPG with an open world exploration? Or do you like sci-fi stuff with cool narrative trees and
Mass
stuff?
Effect 2.
Personally, I would play Mass Effect. That's my choice. But it's going to be up to you what your personal preference is to determine which you like better. So there you go. What is my favorite childhood memory? Mine is my mom taking me to Wawa for treats, and that was from... Hold on. Raven's Dolphin?
Raven's Dolphin? Okay. Sure, that was Raven's Dolphin. Okay. Okay. All right, someone's having fun with Raven.
I have many childhood memories. I remember playing catch with my dad or going on walks around the neighborhood and playing ball on the wall, which we used to go to a local elementary school. To their,
Ball on the
parking lot, and you would throw
wall?
the ball, bounce it off the big wall, and catch. We would play, badminton in the yard, stuff like that. I have memories of my mom and I going out and going to the movies together, going to Burger King, getting a little kids meal and stuff like that. I
Burger
have memories of
King.
awesome holidays, having great food and feeling warm and cozy with the family on like Christmas Day, or unboxing all my Christmas presents and seeing cool stuff like the Super Nintendo and actually having it and playing it all day on Christmas Day while the house smelled amazing with the food my mother was making. So I have many, many good childhood memories. I don't have just one that stands out.
Food
I have really
and
good memories from a
presents
really
for
great childhood that
Phil.
my parents gave me, and I'm very grateful for that because I realize a lot of people don't have those, and that's unfortunate because I feel everyone deserves a good childhood.
But Phil, like, I thought your parents basically were
let's
trying
see
to
here.
buy your love with because they were cheating.
By the
on
way, I'm
each
just going to
other.
ignore the ridiculous question. So if you ask a question 7 times and I haven't answered it, it's probably because it's ridiculous, so you could just stop asking it. My parents do not watch my content. They do not. They never did. They literally never watched my content. They also never were interested in video games or anything. My dad and I used to play Atari, and after Atari 7800, he literally never played a video game with me ever again. We never played Nintendo together or anything. They're just from a different generation. They don't care about video game or internet culture, and that's what I do. So they just have zero interest in it. They want to hear about how things are going in my life, right? But they don't care about
his
the actual
father
content
doesn't.
that I
His
put out.
father will send him pictures of fish. Like, I caught a fish, son. I care not about your internet things and your flat
Was I closer with my mom or my
tires."
dad growing up? I'd probably say about equal, although sadly I definitely saw more of my mom than my dad because my mom was a stay-at-home mom to take care of me while my dad had to work. And my dad worked a lot, and a lot of the times he had to work the shift with, like, he worked night shift. So I'd come home from school, spend an hour with my dad to play video games.
His
we'd have
dad
dinner
sounds like a
together,
real
and then he'd
life
be off
Hank
to work.
Hill.
The only time I would get to see my dad all day would
probably.
be weekends. My mom was home all the time. So I definitely spent more time with my mom than my dad, but I would say that the relationship was pretty equal. I didn't really favor one
no,
parent over another.
I think he definitely.
Bookworm, thank you for re-upping your membership for
I think
23
he
months.
likes his.
Says, what is your proudest moment ever?
Mom more than his dad, if I was to guess.
Maybe that a woman wanted to spend the rest of her life with me, that she actually will put up with me to marry me. Probably. I can't think of anything else, you know, in particular. It's not like,
can't imagine why they would do that.
ran into a
but,
burning building and saved an entire, you know, family from a fire or anything like that I can say. You know.
Oh, great. There's a. Oh,
By the way, I guess no one has done it yet, but very shortly, people should start hitting their 36-month anniversary on the channel and earning their Diamond Crown chat badges. Being members for 36 months. I don't know. I swear it was supposed to be today. I swear it was May 8th, but maybe I'm off a few days. So hopefully in the next week, we'll get to see some long-standing members get their new badges. That's going to be cool.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
He is definitely a mama's boy, but it sounds like he hates her at the same time. There is a very weird, complicated thing that it would be something that I
No, I've never
really
played Pokemon Stadium on the N64.
I'm gonna be honest,
I own very few games on the N64.
That's the thing I would really
I got the
like
console,
to hear.
but then I also had PS1, and I just favored PS1 so much more because it looked better.
He
the
has
games
a
were
lot
more
of
in tune with my
complicated
interests.
issues.
So PlayStation was it
women.
for me, and I kind of didn't really play
His
much
mother
N64.
being one of them, but he is a mama's boy.
How can Capcom improve the Red Cyclone? You mean Zangief in Street Fighter 6? Man, gee, let's see. They need to give him an option to get him across the screen against people who can zone, because really he has none right now that are viable.
He's a grappler.
They need to give him an option to get out of the corner. He really has none right now, besides guess a perfect parry. And, man, I would, you know, there's so many things they could do. They can make his meter use less, because it seems like he burns out a lot. Give him a reduced meter use compared to other characters.
You
or
burn
reduce
out
the
a
amount
lot
of meter
because you
uses
don't
to use
keep
stuff,
an eye on
you
your
know?
meter, Phil.
I don't think he needs damage increase. I think he just needs more tools. Like, it's funny that in the games, the modern games where he has Green Hand, he's good. And then they refuse to give it back to him. They just refuse to give it back to him. They don't want him to have it, even though it's a really good move. Have I considered taking grad school classes in a topic of interest? I was going to grad school when I was working at helicopter support. Okay. Now I was against doing it. I got my degree.
I was against.
And out of college, literally no one wanted to hire me for having a finance degree. I would go to the interview and they would be like, what experience do you have? And I'd say, well, I don't have any experience. I'm fresh out of college. I said, well, sorry, we're looking for someone with experience. I'm like, well, I don't understand. What experience was I supposed to have? I was in college. I just got my degree. And they said, oh, well, did you take any internships? I said, internships? I said, during my college years, I was working full time. I was doing a full course load and I had a full-time job to pay for college. How was I supposed to do an internship? To which none of them would have an answer. The answer is you're supposed to be rich. In America, you're...
Oh my God, Phil. Then you lie on your resume. You say, oh yeah. You take, how did you take, you find a way to take your, to take what you know and what you did in your full-time jobs and turn it into, oh, this finance job. Oh, well, I learned how to do this. I learned how to do that. I had to know how to do this and this and this. And you could have done that. It's like, Phil, how about you not? This is why him and his wife, is why his wife can't get good jobs, because they're just like, I don't have experience. It's like, dude, do what everyone else does. Lie. Like everybody else in the world will pad their resume or kind of be like, oh yeah, I can do that. Even if they can't. Because it's like, no, we want to get that job.
You're supposed to be rich so that you don't have to work, so you can do a free unpaid internship to get experience so you can get a job in the financial field as soon as you graduate from college. I know that sounds broken because it is. It's a rigged system, okay?
Or what you could do is take an unpaid internship during a little bit of the summer, or do some stuff that will... Oh, we went from low tide to high tide. Fuck. All right. I hate when we do that. Okay. Oh, God, no, not glowies.
Okay. So anyway,
it's a fucking...
After I got out of college and I basically flubbed
take.
around jobs for a while, when I finally got the helicopter job, they actually paid for you to go to courses. Now, it's not full-time, but, you know, you could do, like, part-time night classes to try to get an MBA. And I did start. I went, I think, 2 semesters. So I got through a whole semester, and then I went to my second semester. And what ended up happening was, I keep in mind, back then, my back was messed up really bad. So I couldn't really drive that much. You know, it was like local driving. So in order for me to go, I was going with coworkers. Okay. And actually, to be honest, my coworkers talked me into doing this. It really wasn't something I was interested in, but they kind of talked me into it. Then I told my parents. My parents convinced me to do it. Yes, you should go try to get a master's degree. Right. Second semester. All right. Here's what happens. I'm in class with another coworker who actually is the one who's carpooling driving us. Our third classmate, who usually would come with us, also worked at our job, couldn't go this week. All right. I'm in class. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this story. I probably haven't. So I'm in class, and this girl, I guess it was presentation day. I'm trying to remember. It was presenting with different groups, and I had a presentation, and she had a presentation. She goes, I say girl, but we were in our 20s. She goes up to do a presentation. Her face goes pure pale white, and she barfs all over the front of the classroom in front of everybody. I don't know if she was sick or if it was nerves. She just explodes in front of the whole class.
Okay, why
It's
are
disgusting,
we telling?
Okay, so she runs to the bathroom. It's very embarrassing. Now here's the thing.
That is
My back
embarrassing.
is
I would
fucked
not
up,
tell that
and
story.
she's sick
That's
now,
not fair.
and we got to get out of there, right? And I'm like, I really can't drive unless you want me to drive on the city streets, which should take us like an hour to get you home. I can't really drive, because I can't. My back is fucked up. I cannot drive on the highway. At that point, to make this clear, my back was so bad that I kind of was limping around. I had numbness and shooting pain down my right leg, and at any time I could get a spasm. So imagine me driving.
I remember he never got this. Yeah, like my thing is, why would you ever say this to, like, I don't get, like, that is not something that I would ever say. Oh, a coworker, you'd be like, oh, she, and it's like, oh yeah, we had to go. It's like, Phil, why would you say that? Like, and I love the idea that basically his coworkers wanted him to do this because they probably really wanted him to actually learn shit.
On the highway, and I get a spasm in my leg, and it makes you, car drives off the highway because I hit the gas pedal, or worse, I hit the brakes for no reason, and car just plows into us behind, right? So I never drove on the highway. I only drove locally, so that way I could drive slowly, and if that happened, it wouldn't be a big deal. So I explained, I said, I could drive you home, but it's going to take like over an hour.
I believe he drove slowly because he didn't want to.
She called her fiance. Her fiance shows up. He's ripping fucking pissed, like really angry about the situation. And I'm like, what is he angry about? His fiance got sick. It ain't her fault that she got sick. I don't even know if she was actually sick to her stomach or it was nerves, but it's, what are you going to do, right? I think he was mad at me because, like, oh, why couldn't I drive? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I said I would drive. It would take like over an hour to get home. So basically what ended up happening was after that fiasco, we basically like barely finished the semester, and that was it. Like that, no one wanted to go anymore. So me,
no, they didn't want to go with you.
Try to get my MBA, but knowing that I couldn't really drive, I mean, I'm not going to drive over an hour to get to this college, right, and then come back. So it just all ended. Like everyone just stopped going for the MBA, and so I just stopped going. I only had like 2 semesters, and that was it. I mean, you need way more than 2 semesters
my God.
in order to get an MBA.
All right.
So I had all those credits, and they just
stay alive,
fade into oblivion or whatever. And there you go. So that's it. So no, I never went back for an MBA or anything like that. And then, like I said, I was in that job for about 4.5 years, and then I got laid off anyway. I was already doing YouTube stuff, so no, I never really had a desire. And at this point in my life, what on the holy hell would an MBA do for me? Zero. It would literally do.
Like it wasn't either flunked out. What it sounds like is that you know what it sounds like, Baldrick, is that no one wanted to ride with him. He couldn't get a ride. So they probably went and got their MBA, and he was just, they didn't want to go with him because the fact is he just, I can't do that. I can't, yeah. Because here's the thing. I don't believe that it was his back. I believe it was because of his full-on refusal to wear eyeglasses. He refuses to wear eyeglasses when he drives. And I think that's the reason he drives slow, because he doesn't want to get pulled over, which there is a story in which John Rambo has said that, yeah, he one time got that Phil got pulled over while Rambo was in the car, and Phil was driving, didn't have his glasses, and John Rambo had to drive Phil's BMW to Phil's house.
Absolutely nothing to help me in any realm of my life. So Ken just did a super chat.
Yeah, he's so
he says,
self
thoughts on the Nintendo World Championship NES edition.
It's
coming out
not
later in
just
the year.
he's
I already talked about it.
It's that his
actually a segment on the
ego
podcast earlier
won't
today.
allow him to admit
I like the
needs to wear
idea of it.
glasses.
I just don't know if it would jive
Even
with my
as
audience.
a kid. That's why
I like retro stuff.
That's why personally I think that whole crash that happened when he was in high school was because he wouldn't wear his glasses. Oh yeah, like to me, I think that's the thing. He won't wear his glasses now. So the fact is, because he won't wear his glasses, like he didn't there, and that's why his mom told him not to drive on the highway. He wants to say it's his back, but he's done, like, remember, he's done nothing to fix his back. No surgeries, no nothing. And remember, he keeps claiming that. Remember the whole thing of, you know, oh, he would get the that was the thing that he told Leanna, that if they went to Washington, he would get the surgery.
And I like the idea of speedrun challenges and, you know,
I wouldn't be surprised that Leanna was against
content,
moving.
I don't know if
and
anyone
he
would show up to
convinced
stream
her because
you know?
it's like, oh, I'll get the surgery.
I'm down for it. I'd like to check it out,
this.
but I'm not sure if it would work. Also, Lord Prince Albert did a super chat and says, as smell is one of the strongest senses in the human body, what's the most memorable smell or scent that you've ever experienced? Probably food smells, right? I would say, okay, 2. Number 1, when I was growing up with my parents, in our backyard, we had a lilac tree. And the lilacs smelled amazing. They were like so awesome smelling in the spring when they started to bloom. So that I will always remember the smell of fresh lilacs in the backyard. But outside of that, you know, various different food smells. You smell donuts being made. You know, we used to have a local Dunkin' Donuts, and you drive down the street and you smell the donuts actually being made, right? Or you're driving by a barbecue place and you can smell the barbecue, that kind of stuff. Those are those cool smells that I remember. What's the worst injury I ever acquired growing up? I never had any major injuries. My worst injury is my back. That I had this severely herniated disc. That is an injury, dum-dum. It's been so long, I don't remember. I think it was the L4, L5 vertebrae. And it was so bad that when they did the MRI, they said, good thing we caught it now because it was literally about to explode. And if I didn't do things to alleviate it, I was probably going to lose control of various bodily functions.
Your back was going to explode?
That was really awful. And then, you know, after that, I've had issues with my neck and back regularly, sadly. I've had issues where I was completely numb all the way shooting through my arm to my thumb. Were you comfortably numb? I couldn't feel my thumb. I sometimes still get problems with my back and stuff and my neck. And I don't think that's ever going to go away. You know, it's just something I got to deal with for the rest of my life.
Maybe you should go to the doctor.
Maseo just did a super chat. Tomorrow is Goku Day. Everyone go watch some clips of Dragon Ball Z. Rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. Indeed. One of the greats. Sad to see him go. Never be replicated, right? A true one of a kind.
Yeah, since like him shitting on Zangief, like all they need to do this. His command grabs do so much damage.
Han Solo, I don't know what to tell you. He says, I have scoliosis issues. Do you recommend the chair I have? I don't know if it would help scoliosis. I don't have that. I have no idea what you're going through. This chair has really good lumbar support and really good back support. It has 2 very firm pillows, which are meant for that. It's designed for that. It's meant for elongated use rather than, you know, it's not a gamer chair like that shitty one I have over there that's made in fucking, you know, who knows where, of crappy materials. It's the same ones that everyone sells for $200-300 and they're worth about 10. This is an actual good comfy chair,
were paid
but it has drawbacks. It doesn't have height adjustment.
That was an advertisement,
It's kind of limited in what it can do, but that's also why it's not a $700 chair. You know, you want a good chair, go buy a $700 chair, and then you'll probably use it for 15 years, right? Jade, good evening. It's good to see you. How are you? Am I a fan of Auntie Anne's pretzels? Yes. I do think that they're delicious. When I was growing up, my local mall only had a Pretzel Time. Does anyone remember Pretzel Time? They don't exist anymore. Pretzel Time's pretzels were more crunchy on the outside and buttery. But then Auntie Anne's are actually a little bit less crunchy, a little bit more chewy, and the dough is a little bit
it's time for pretzel talk.
I remember Auntie Anne's particularly because they have fresh lemonade that you can get there. Daily, they brew it. And I like their lemonade with a pretzel. So, but yeah, I have had Auntie Anne's before. I like Auntie Anne's. Auntie Anne's still exists, while Pretzel Time, I think Pretzel Time sold to another company, and then they changed the name from Pretzel Time to Pretzel Maker, because I think it's the same company, but just a different name, and they rebranded and changed all their methods. Let's see here. I received a $1.50 tip.
Oh, all right. Mothership's here.
Oh, no, I'm well aware of this. Someone tipped $1.50 and says it's not good to brush your teeth right after drinking coffee. I know. If you brush your teeth directly after drinking coffee, there's still acid on your tooth enamel that will wear your teeth away. I drink my coffee roughly around 6 p.m., and so I usually drink it between 6 to 6:15, 6:30ish, and usually I brush my teeth between 6:45, 7. I wait that 30 minutes or so before I brush my teeth. It's good. It's good advice. It's just that when I say I need to brush my teeth, I have coffee taste in my mouth. It doesn't mean that I literally just drank coffee. I had the coffee after dinner.
I think he just
and
has
now
like,
it's time for me to brush my teeth before I begin my stream.
So
good looking out. You're actually completely correct there.
Just,
Thank you for the $1.50
He has
tip.
just been.
I appreciate the advice.
Okay.
Was that correct?
And he has been.
No, we're at 32.
What he's been doing, he has
just
been kind of.
Don't ask me how I figured that. How I managed that.
Exploiting generic back pain for years.
I'm glad to hear you're good, Jade.
I've known folks who have had like a herniated disc and shit like that. I've seen them walk. Like,
would I rather have dinner with a zombie or a vampire? That would be a fascinating meal, because what would happen is as soon as we're sitting down, actually I'd like to have a dinner with both, and here's why. So while we're arriving for dinner and we sit down, I run the fuck out of the room and I lock the door. Because the question is, would the zombie try to eat the vampire? The zombie just wants to eat. It doesn't care what it eats, right? It doesn't even know it's fresh meat. But then again, does it? Because zombies don't eat other zombies, correct? So how does it work that a zombie doesn't eat another zombie? Would the zombie try to eat the vampire?
Zombies,
if the zombie ate the vampire, would it then contract the vampire's curse and become a zombie vampire?
The vampire.
It was a silly
Purple's
question, but
tunnel
I'm actually
stretches don't
fascinated
do
by the
anything.
answer. I'm
No,
sure
that's
someone's already
true.
written this lore somewhere.
There we go.
Disney canceled the upcoming Star Wars show, The Acolyte. Oh, I don't even know what that is. Didn't someone mention that earlier in the chat and said that it was something about what it was? And I was like, what is that? I never heard of it. The zombie would not eat the vampire. Then what would it do? Just ignore the vampire? Zombies always go after whatever's like alive near them, right?
Yeah, but vampires
And what is the
aren't
criteria for alive? A
alive.
vampire is alive. It's just not.
No,
it's not
not.
the criteria
It's
of what we consider human
undead.
life, but it's still alive. So would the
No,
zombie
it
try
is
to eat the
not.
vampire? Why wouldn't
Oh
it if
my-
it doesn't? What's the criteria
Oh
that
my
it's
lord! Vampires are undead. They control other undead, i.e., they would be able to control a zombie. Like a lot of their
zombie knows that it wants to eat something? Okay, how about this? If the zombie bit a vampire, would the vampire become a zombie? And if the vampire bit the zombie, would the zombie become a vampire? Can we
They're
have
both
zombie
undead.
vampires and vampire zombies?
Yeah, living. Yeah, you're right. Wet floor. Living dead does not equal alive. All right, let's see. Give me. We got to get to
That's what Belly
1200.
just
Got to
watched
get
the
to our
podcast
super
yesterday for my
bonus.
thoughts on Xbox. I don't want to repeat myself when I get upset.
One more, and I think we can do it.
What if a werewolf covered itself in mustard? That would be a pretty disgusting, smelly, sticky situation for sure. That's a lot of hair, and you don't want that, getting into the coat permanently.
Oh my
Can you
God,
imagine
who the
the
hell
smell alone?
cares?
They've got to find a way. That's going to take a while. You got to get a shampooing going, right? So zombies are brain dead. Vampires are heart dead, right?
No. Oh. Zombies are undead, but they're decaying people. Whereas vampires are undead, but it's because they have an affliction and they need to drink blood, which is living blood. So a zombie wouldn't want to drink the blood, or a vampire wouldn't drink the blood of a zombie because it's like you're not going to get anything.
But a zombie wants brains. A zombie craves brains. A vampire has a working brain. It just doesn't have a working heart. So technically, could the zombie eat the vampire brain? Would that work? Would it want to eat the vampire brain because it wants brains? Right?
You do know that a vampire could like turn himself into a bat or mist, and boom, it's gone. God, he is dumb. Oh yeah. Okay, we killed a.
Have I ever done a cleric or herald run in Dark Souls 3? I have no idea. I don't even remember what builds I used. Will Dark Souls 3 ever come back? I'm sure eventually I'll get around to playing it again. I don't see why not. Those games always seem to make the rounds every several years, right?
Oh, the topic was
I don't consume a lot of horror content. I enjoy horror. I used to watch a lot more of it when I was younger. I don't watch it as much these days.
The whole
only
thing
because a
was
lot of modern
about
horror
like
stinks.
zombies
it's rare to find a
versus
good modern horror
like,
movie, I feel.
a zombie versus a vampire. He's trying to go that they would go after each other instead of they're undead. The vampire would literally control undead.
Oh god. A zombie is unlikely to bite a vampire for the same reason it doesn't eat other zombies. The flesh is dead or rather undead. A vampire could not turn to a zombie for the same reason. Is my cat ever in my face when I wake up? Yes.
And you're
Jasper
like,
tries to wake
it's
me
like,
up frequently.
Phil, this is the
morning,
kind
he
of
tried to
thing
wake me
that
up
you
at like 6:30
wanted.
a.m.
You wanted
for
to
no
have
good
this
reason.
kind of
Yes, Soup Fork, I remember Infamous. It was a great game of the PS3 era, for sure.
All right, there we go. Depends on the vampire lore, but cold blood, i.e., not from a living creature, would be toxic to
No,
a
I do not
vampire.
sleep with socks on.
They feed on
Absolutely
life
not.
force and blood. Yeah, that's the thing. They can't eat. Like, yeah, they need life force. Whether it's
Antiviral is a good body horror movie from Brandon Cronin.
they need living blood. Whether it's from they like humans the best, but animals will work in a pinch. It's just not that great. It's you don't get as much value out of it, much nutrition or whatever, and their flesh is undead, so a zombie would not want to eat that. Well,
I
okay,
never
we
heard of it.
are-
I probably don't have access to it. Antiviral? What would that be on? Let me see. Usually Prime Video, if they don't have it, they'll tell you what it's on.
Oh god! Oh, Shit, we must
Antiviral.
have a,
It is
we got a
on
big guy.
AMC Plus or IFC Films Unlimited. Who the hell has those? Right? Who in the holy hell would have those?
Some people do, Phil. Jesus. Like, I love when Phil just shits on, oh, people have different,
Well,
it's like, oh my God,
yeah,
people have different things.
I don't have that, so I wouldn't have access to that unless I pay for it. It's like $4 to
Alright,
rent. Thanks for this recommendation.
Get out of my way.
Okay.
All right.
Who would win in a street fight, Sonic or Mario? I don't know. They're not real, so they couldn't have a street fight. Right?
You just had a huge thing about
Because here's what you said in
zombies
the
and
summary, you might go back to
vampires.
an RPG,
You
which
do
one
know
would it
that
be?
zombies
The
and
only one that's-
vampires
well,
are
there's
not
two that are on
real.
hiatus. One, well, technically there's
Oh
three.
my
But I'll tell you right
goodness.
now, I'm not going back to Dragon's Dogma 2. I have zero desire to play it. That game is so incredibly similar to the first, and the graphics are just not very entertaining because they're choppy.
Graphics. I'm a
I'll be
graphics
honest, I think they
whore.
really dropped the
I'm
ball with
Phil-
that game. I feel like
I'm
that game
Phil,
could
and
be
I'm a
much better if
graphics
they
whore. That's all I
innovated. It
care
doesn't even
about.
feel like a sequel. It just feels like the same game 10 years later. I don't know what they were thinking, you know?
What were they thinking?
If I were to go back to an RPG, it would either be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or it would be Sea of Stars. And I tell you, I am going to go back to Sea of Stars at some point. That's a given 100%. I just don't know when. I was loving that game, and then I just ran out of time for it. So Sea of Stars will return at some point later in the year and be balanced with other content. While Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I don't know. We'll see.
I
Keaton is the
suck
best
at
Batman,
baiting
hands
that
down. Good job.
Maw out.
Michael Keaton. Absolutely.
There we go. 15. Well, that's not too bad. We can do this. You just got
I usually don't drink any 0-calorie drinks. The only one I drank semi-regularly was Coke Zero back in the day. But funny story, the only reason that I drank it was because I was drinking so much liquor, which is awful. I told you guys this. I used to be an alcoholic. So I used to drink rum
be
and
an
Coke
alcoholic
every night. And I didn't want to drink high-calorie soda every night. So I actually started getting Coke Zero, right? So, yeah. So it was pretty bad reason. And technically, did I like Coke Zero? No. I just tolerated it to have it with
Coke
the
Zero's
rum.
not bad.
But no, I don't really drink 0-calorie. I'll drink a diet soda every once in a while, like a diet Pepsi. If
That's
I'm out
0
and I want
calorie,
a soda with a dinner or
dipshit.
something, I'll get Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke only because
Oh my God, he's like, oh, I don't drink 0 calorie. I might drink Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi. That's, oh my Lord. This man. Sometimes I wonder about this man. There we go. All right.
I don't like the sugar, but that's about it. Cherry Coke and Amaretto, never had that. Wouldn't that be way too sweet? Because Amaretto itself is a very sweet liquor. Why would you want to have that with Cherry Coke? That's
Diet
like
Coke's
drinking
actually
sugar
bad
straight
for
out of the
you.
bottle.
I mean,
you know, like, zoop.
It's not
I
the
don't know if I
best
would want
for
that.
you.
That sounds too sweet for my tastes.
Some lore explores vampire don't
I
actually
received
drink
a
blood and draw
$3
life
tip.
force
The person
directly.
says, it was crazy because I was a freshman in high school when I
Thanos, why are
discovered
we
it in
having
2009.
Q&A
I'm now
tonight? 'Cause he
30
doesn't
years
wanna
old.
play
I
a
go back and
game.
watch your old vlogs. There's an ancient vlog you went to a backyard
It's been a while.
barbecue.
It has been a while. Work stuff doesn't let me do
That was
this
my
that often,
backyard.
so I just
Back then I still lived with my parents, and that was the backyard barbecue.
got home,
I set
napped
up,
a little bit,
and
and
I
do
had my
this.
neighbors
Oh
come
boy,
over and
this
play
is
video
gonna...
games. Unless you're talking about there was two. There was another one that was at my friend Walter's house. It was either one of those two that you saw in those vlogs.
Okay, there we go. We're done with...
Yep. Like I said, there are, on that hard drive over there are lost vlogs from like the 2010, early 2011 time frame, and that's after what you're describing. But some of those were gone from the internet permanently. You can't find them anywhere. So those might be pretty neat for the throwback channel. I have to see what specifically is on there and sort it, and then figure out, you know, if I want to upload it, or maybe I'll send it to my editors and they could do like a montage style video of all of it. Why would you say that? Why would you even ask me if Tekken 8 is a failed fighting game? What are you talking about? You know, I thought Tekken 8 was superb. It has a great, healthy player base. Like, why would you even say that? What a silly thing to say.
All right.
There we go.
Let's go back and do this. There's nothing to wonder about. Look at his fans and it tells you all I know about. Yeah. Like, the thing about it is all he has to do is just say, hey, you know,
The noisy bird
he
outside.
doesn't get the
Just distracting me.
no-calorie ones also in his diet. He
We have
is
some nice
so
wildlife
dumb.
where I live. We have this really cool wildlife with tons of different kinds of birds.
Banners.
And it's
I don't
weird.
like
We get
banners.
more and more of different birds we didn't even know were around. Like this year, you know, what we do is we put a bowl of peanuts out, and we actually have one of those suet cages you can hang on a fence. So we have like a thing of suet we put out like once a week, and we have a bowl of peanuts that we'll put out like every day or two. And man, we get so many different birds. We get this new kind that started coming called the northern flickerbird, and those are really neat. They have long beaks that look like woodpecker beaks, but they're big birds. They're not little guys like the woodpecker. They're large birds with beautiful plumes. And we also still get the Stellar's Jays, which are giant bluebirds with big crests on their heads. And we get all kinds of little cool things. They're not sparrows. Sparrows were when I lived on the East Coast, but they're different kinds of birds. Maybe different like finch varieties and stuff like that. And then on top of that, we get tons of squirrels that come by to grab the peanuts, or they do these cool acrobatic things on our back fence to eat the suet. They're like eating it upside down on the fence like this. They look crazy. And then we also have other wild animals. We just recently saw our first bunny of the season hopping around the backyard. We have all kinds of rabbits that live in the forest back there that come out at night and they hop all around in the grass and everything. It's really, really cool.
This is so boring. Phil, I literally could not care any less.
Thank you, Soup Fork. He says, hope you and your wife Jasper are doing well. Hope you have a good day off tomorrow.
Your
Can't wait
wife
to see Fighter 6 on
Jasper?
Friday. Sounds good. Cool.
Oh, did I hear that right? Did I hear that right?
Thank you, Soup Fork. He says, hope you and your wife Jasper are doing well. Hope you have a good day off tomorrow. Can't wait for Street Fighter 6 on Friday.
Your wife Jasper. Phil, add a little pause. Your wife and Jasper. Oh my god. Like, the way you said that makes it seem like Jasper's your wife. And that's weird.
Sounds good. Cool. You know what's funny is, so someone got banned, and I don't know why they got banned, but a moderator banned them. They keep coming back with clone accounts that are already auto-blocked and banned, and they're insulting me, saying, I don't even know who they are or what they're talking about. I love it. They're coming back, oh, you banned me, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know who you are. I didn't even ban you. You're an idiot.
Yeah. You see,
Anyway,
again,
what was
the
my
king
team
of
in
hate,
CVS
he
2? I don't
won't
even
take
remember.
any
I
responsibility.
really literally don't remember.
Oh, my
I know I
mom's
used
did it,
Sagat.
but I'm not going to look
I think
into it.
Blanca at one point. It's been so long since I played CVS 2. I actually don't remember
Probably,
what
it's
team was.
probably Kirk.
Vega. I think it was Vega was on it.
I wouldn't be surprised that
So
it's
maybe it was
Kirk.
Vega, Sagat, and I can't remember who the third was. It
Oh,
was
God, we're in
probably
siege
Blanca,
mode. I'm surprised he
but I
hasn't,
can't remember. I think it was Blanca, though.
I'm surprised he hasn't begged again.
No, I've never seen a wild bear. We don't get wild bears where I live. We're too residential. We're not that far out in the woods. But if I drove like 15, 20 minutes, I could get to country where there's wild bears.
How bad are we? Ooh, we are not doing well.
Okay, I guess this is a good opportunity to split the part. It's going to be a two-parter chill stream here on the channel. So let's split this part, and then I'll probably spread my legs here spread my legs. Whoa. I'll probably stretch my legs. My legs will stay closed,
no.
but I will get up and walk around the office to relax and
Well.
stretch a bit before I do the second half of the stream. I'll not be spreading anything.
This is how you just tell he just talks to talk, to hear
Little
himself talk.
Freudian
He
slip
does
there,
not,
okay?
he does not listen to anybody.
All right, now that I'm
I am not
embarrassed.
doing well in this one.
Let me split the part, and I'll be right back. Okay, I will now stretch my legs, guys, if you don't mind. Hold on.
If you don't mind.
Ooh.
Hey, who wants to see Chercoon?
Oh, man.
Hi, Chercoon. How are you today? All right, let's see. All right. All right, let's... I don't know if I can get to 1,000, but...
Yeah.
Ponage 101's getting a big head as
It's
a mod.
definitely time for the air conditioners. It's hot in here. I'm sweating. My whole back is sweaty just sitting in here. So it's definitely time for the AC. I'll be putting that in tomorrow, and then hopefully it'll alleviate this because this weekend.
You see,
really
Phil,
hot.
if you wouldn't play
Okay.
WWE Champions, you could
a
have
super
paid
chat
to
came in,
have
but I
central
missed it.
air in your...
Jared Jackson just did a
Okay,
super
didn't
chat. The
get
nature here in
1,000,
upstate New York is
but I
totally
got
different. We have
close.
birds and
This
deer
is
and
not
cows. But
bad.
we also have meth heads yelling at 2 a.m. over catalytic converters.
Ooh,
Oh, no, we have that too,
really?
just not where I live.
Okay,
I chose a community that's private and gated, so
Oh.
I don't have to hear that shit. If I was like 2 blocks away, I would totally hear that. I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm near a lot of that kind of activity here, but
And Phil, you chose to live here. The only reason you want to live here is because of the fact that you like the gated community, so that both your fans and your detractors can't see you at all. That's it.
luckily I'm living in a place where we're isolated from it, so I don't have to put up with that nonsense. Thank you for the super chat. All right, so guys, we're heading into the second half of tonight's late night hangout
that's
session.
rough.
Okay.
They even
thank you for
had a
chilling with me.
disconnect and
Thank
we
you
lost.
for enjoying and hanging out and having a good discussion. And we will continue now. Second half. Thank you for those who supported the stream. Thanks to Dan the Man for the big tip earlier. Anyone else who contributed as well. You know, good amount of super chats tonight. Guys, anything would be appreciated tonight, whether it's a super chat, a membership, a gifted membership, or a tip. You know that usually I try to hit 50 bucks every stream of tips. We still have another hour to go. There's time for that. And I appreciate everyone hanging in and supporting in some way. All right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue. Here we go.
That's borderline whether that's
Hello,
a
everyone,
two
and
or
welcome
not.
back
I
to
don't
Late Night
know.
Chill with Phil. Part 2 for May 8th, 2024. Just having a chill time
Oh,
talking
yeah,
to my
we'll give
audience
that a
here.
2. There
And
was
a lot of
bit
different
more on
topics
that
being
one.
discussed. And now we're
A bit
heading
of
to the
meat
second half
on
of our
that
chill
one.
night stream. Let's see what people have to say. So opponent
And
21 says he
look,
got
he's
his hands
back
on a
on
Switch.
doing Siege
First
mode.
time in Hyrule Warrior since I'm a fan of the Warrior series. Good game. Bad frame rate, right? The Switch version of Hyrule Warriors. Oh, wait. Are you talking about the remastered version of the original? Or are you talking about the sequel? I think there was a remastered version of the original Hyrule Warriors that ran really well on the Switch. And if that's the case, enjoy. I actually really liked that game. But the second one, I played the demo, and man, it ran like crap. So I was like, dude, I'm not getting that. And it's sad. It's like, a game that's supposed to be a first-party IP and everything, and it just ran so poorly that I was not spending money on it. I totally was on... It was in my plans to buy it and play it. And then when I just don't understand how some games run so freaking well on the Switch, and others are just so pathetically bad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because there some devs are really bad at optimizing.
It's the definitive
for
edition,
the
so
Switch.
you got the remake of the original on the Switch. That was the one where they actually massively improved the graphics. That's a good one. That's fun. I like playing
massively
as different
improved
Zelda
again.
characters
Graphics,
with
graphics,
superpowers like you're
graphics.
playing Dynasty Warriors. It's really fun. So good stuff there.
All right.
I received a $2 tip. Loads. I've been playing Manor Lords. It's really good. An immersive city building RTS medieval style game on Xbox for $30. I might be looking into. Perhaps, I don't know if people are interested in seeing me play a city builder. I've never done anything like that before. So I don't really know how it would go. Or if I would even really like it. It's kind of a bummer. It's 30
not to
bucks
run. Yeah, he thought he was going to be the big baller shot caller, and that's why he picked where he lived.
And
remember, always remember,
you're literally the first person.
This is like the first place he chose.
Okay.
Like as soon as they, because Leanna was looking at like
Justin Wong was
Texas
much better
and
at Third Strike
Florida,
than I was back in the
which
day.
I think would
His
have been a
main
lot
was
cheaper
always
for
Chun-Li,
him.
who's one of the best characters in the game, hands down.
And
anyway.
would have had
he was super good with her, so
what we
I would not beat
call,
him in a tournament. No, absolutely not.
Central
Not in
air
Third Strike.
conditioning.
Super
which he
Turbo,
would've
yes.
liked.
Third Strike, no. He's much better than me in that game. He also has tons more tournament experience. Like for example, back in my heyday of competitive Street Fighter, I actually started competitively playing the Versus series, games like X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2.
Yeah, but you were
Then
bad
I
at
started
those.
to branch
That's
out
why
into
you
other
went
games
to,
because there was something called the Big Four. In the late 90s, early 2000s, here was the Big Four Capcom fighting games. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Capcom vs. SNK 2, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. So whenever you went to any major Street Fighter event, you'd usually see those 4 games being played. So what would happen is, I would enter for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but then I would try to play the other games casually. And that's how I got my first exposure to games like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo or competitive play of Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, because I never played it competitively. I only had it at my local arcade, and no one really played it. So over the years, I grew more of an affinity for the other titles rather than just the Versus series. And then I started playing them, and quite frankly, if you want me to be completely honest with you, I like the more classic style Street Fighter more than the Versus series now. Like, I started as a Versus series aficionado.
He kept
now I
think he kept getting his ass kicked,
the one-on-one setup. You know, the more basic.
He figured out a way of
cheesing. A million gimmicks, a million hit combo, stupid shit like that. So I was late to the game playing those other competitive Street Fighter games. Justin Wong was going around the country since he was a teenager. He was traveling the country, going to every major tournament, getting exposure in every major Street Fighter game. So he had that crazy background in like every game he played. And, you know, for whatever reason, the only game that I would say that he never really got super good at was Super Turbo. He's good at Super Turbo. He's just not top. I mean, you know.
Justin Wong? Let's listen to that again.
And, you know, for whatever reason, the only game that I would say that he never really got super good at was Super Turbo. He's good at Super Turbo.
Super good. I had to listen to that again.
I mean, you know, I don't know what it was. Maybe he just felt because it was the oldest game, there wasn't enough reason to play it hard enough to get high level, and he's probably right. Like at that point, if you were going to Marvel 2, Third Strike, and CVS 2,
I'm not surprised.
You do way better than
wants
just
to think he's the best at all this stuff. He's the best around.
It was the lesser game, it was the older game.
But
yeah, but no, he would be so much better than me at every other game but Super Turbo. That's the only one that I could really hold a candle, you know, to his skill level. What's up, Katsu? How are you doing? Good evening, good to see you. Dentronics asked, would you consider doing a speedrun of old school Mario levels? Dentronics, we were talking about this earlier. There is a game coming out in the summer called the Nintendo World Championships on the Switch, and it's just that. It's a speedrunning challenges of the first 3 Mario games, plus the Lost levels, plus the first 2 Zeldas, plus Metroid, plus Balloon Fight, plus a bunch of others like Donkey Kong. And it's made just for what you're describing. It actually has all different things you can do in it that are challenging, and you can try to beat world records and things like that.
Never be able
I'm interested in it, but I don't know what my audience would be. Like, that would be right up my alley. You know what I'm saying?
You can't speedrun, Phil. You don't know the stress of speedrunning.
Why not play Hades 2, said Lucky's Gremlin? I mean, I'm not against it. I'm eventually going to
he's
play
known
it.
for
I love
Evo
TD1,
Moment 32
but
with
right now,
Daigo.
it
Yeah,
just entered early access.
which if I remember, that was
Excuse And you know, I got no vote on it right now.
3,
I'm not
I
in any
think?
particular
I
rush
can't
to jump
remember
into the game.
exactly.
I'm thinking people might nominate it for my upcoming PC Indies Marathon, and if that's the case, you know, then I would look into it. But right now, I'm just in no rush to play it. Bono's Tecmo says play Free One Up or King Kindred again. That'd be epic. To my knowledge, King Kindred doesn't play anymore. And Free One Up, I actually, when Street Fighter 6 came out, I made a public statement, did I not? My statement was, if anyone wants to throw down and do challenge sets against me like back in the day, you know, let's learn some basic gameplay and then let's do it. Literally, no one ever contacted me. No, and
Yeah,
the thing is, I'm a
because
public
no
figure.
one
I'm
likes
easy to reach
you,
out to.
Phil.
You can still email me. You can tweet me. No one did. Makes me feel like just people, sadly, think there's too much toxicity with my hater community and they don't want to get wrapped up in that shit. I don't blame them. So I think, sadly, those days are over because, you know, back then, I was seen as a very positive.
He really doesn't understand that even back in the day, people didn't like him. That his toxicity isn't just the detractors, it's his own self. Like, genuinely kind people don't get this kind of... They normally don't get this kind of, what the hell? Okay, I decided not to jump. Get out of here. Normally those folks don't have that kind of, you know, toxic shit, but no, Phil is toxicity. Hold on.
The toxicity.
Popular guy on YouTube. Everyone wanted to play Darkside Phil. Today, no one wants anything to do with me because of these fucking stalkerish loser haters.
It's not them,
You know what
Phil.
you do.
You were shit then. They didn't like you then. Like, they didn't like you back then. That's why Jaha wanted to whoop your ass. They didn't like you back then. You got banned off of forums.
I've never watched a speedrunner in my life. No, I have not.
For, you know, some...
No, I have not had my hearing tested
really
lately.
Like, some of those takes back in the day were just like, wow, dude.
What the?
There was some incelly
That didn't
shit
work.
that he
But
said.
then it didn't work. It did something different. That was weird. Got good to have you just chilling and listening tonight. Sounds good. Ponage, have a good night. See you later.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't have enough of a yard to be digging it up to find a buried treasure chest. I just don't have a tiny plot of land. It would never happen.
Got me in a wipeout. Oh, I'll take it. This is gonna be a toughie.
Try sure you can. Thank you for the compliment. You got a bunch of compliments. That's rare, so thank you for that.
Like, that's the... He doesn't understand...
What are you
he
talking
cannot
about?
remember that people did
King Lunar
not
says it's
like
sad
him.
to see what happened to the Dark Anthology Studios. I really love watching you play those games every few months.
Middle of that.
The Dark Anthology
stupid.
Studios? What are you talking about? What is the Dark Anthology? Do you mean the Dark Pictures Anthology? Nothing happened to them. They're fine. King Lunar, are you mistaken? What are you talking about? I think he's confused.
Now, think about how delusional it had to be that after seeing all this stuff, knowing that
The
Jaha
Dark Pictures
wanted to kick
Anthology,
your
what happened?
ass,
They're fine.
you're
happened
still
to
like,
that
oh,
studio?
well, why wouldn't they talk about it? It's
What are you
like,
talking
dude,
about?
they don't.
They did
care
well,
for
and they
you.
announced they are making a whole new series. It's in production now. It's probably, I would think it would probably we learn about more of it this year. I think you're under the impression that they're doing poorly. They're not. Those games did performed above expectations.
Okay, Daigo versus Wong was.
Brian Phillips says you played Celeste for an hour during the 2020 Rageathon. If there was demand, would I play it again?
Oof.
I don't particularly remember it. I don't remember disliking or liking it. I don't know if anyone wants to see me ever play it again. I don't know. I'm not against ever playing anything as long as there's interest, but I never heard anyone really ask for it.
But asked for it, saying,
Well, of course, for guys like
you
us,
were going
Bonos
to
Tecmo
give me
says,
money for
the
it.
Nintendo World Championship looks fun for 90s boomers like me. Well, I'm 80s, whatever, asshole. I'm an 80s asshole. You're a 90s boomer. But yeah, for me, of course, that's nostalgic. I want to play that, you know?
I'm gonna stop for a sec and.
Uber says, what do you think about getting a soundboard? Funny enough, I mean, I have. Someone donated years ago a Stream Deck, but it wasn't compatible with my PC. I need to get a new PC. If I got a new PC with updated OS, then I have a Stream Deck that was donated to me years ago. And yeah, I could have like a soundboard. I could use it to transition funny clips and stuff on the stream.
Okay,
but
I got cash.
I haven't upgraded my PC yet. There's absolutely no need for a green screen at
Phil
this point.
created the Purgatory.
Green screens are so, at this point, they're fucking outdated. They just are. Like, the idea of a green screen worked when people were trying to stream a game, but they didn't want to hog the whole screen or anything like that.
Yeah, it's compatible with the laptop. He just used the... Yeah, think about it. The laptop is stronger than the PC that he has, but he only wants to use that to look at his money. And yet he's still going to whine and say, oh... Because here's the thing. We've seen the email that OIC was willing to give Phil $1,500 for a new PC, but it's obvious that Phil was going to was just going to take that money, put it in Champions, and never do for the PC.
Oh, yeah, I don't see a point to having a green screen. I now have a good background. People like the background.
Your background sucks. Like, a green screen would work a lot better, especially because you have a giant... And I did this one time looking at, like, his Breath of the Wild streams and looking at that, at the face cam there versus the face cam for Tears of the Kingdom. And his face cam's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger.
Background. The camera isn't too big. King Lunar is claiming Supermassive is doing layoffs. When did that hit the news? I haven't heard that at all. Here.
You're looking at Twitter. Why don't you look at actual, gaming websites?
They are Supermassive Games.
I got one of them. Yeah. Like, well, that's the thing.
I'm
About
looking for
his
information about this right now.
Business class internet is so bad. I don't know if we're ever going to actually win a...
Oh, wow. I missed this story. Are you ready? Okay. I didn't know about this at all. So this is news to me. So in March 2021, Nordisk Film, under their Nordisk Games division, purchased a 30% stake in the studio. In July 2022, Nordisk fully purchased Supermassive Games, making them now a subsidiary of a Denmark-based company. Then there was no news, and then in January of 2024, so this happened 4 months ago, I was unaware, it was reported that the company co-founders have left the company. That's not good. In February 2024, Bloomberg News reported Supermassive Games has laid off, they informed 150 employees they were at risk of layoffs, and ultimately they cut 90 personnel. So the founders left the company in January, and now they've laid off 90 people. I didn't hear about that. I don't think it was really covered in the news that well, because I've been covering these stories. I didn't even hear about that.
You don't cover anything. You just check Twitter, Phil.
Why did the founders leave the company? Because they were doing good. By all reports,
maybe they got bought out.
The Dark Pictures anthology is a hit.
Maybe the management wasn't
stated
good.
They sold way more than they thought originally they would, and they were in development for making the next slew of games, which would be like yearly one. What the hell happened? That sounds like something weird internal happened. Like maybe they got bought by this Denmark company, which was a bad choice, and they told them to start doing different things. Right?
Phil, sometimes you can't always choose who you get bought out by. We might... Oh, I don't think we're going to get that. I need to...
No, at this point, a green screen is not needed for my content. It's just not. My camera is good enough quality that, it don't need a green screen. Green screen, is if you need the real estate for the game or whatever, but I've got my shit down. I got a nice border. I got things that, it doesn't affect the game. Green screen
Phil.
Was all the rage 10 years ago because everyone wanted to copy each other to do it, but there's no need for that.
No, Phil, because here's the thing, Phil. Half the time, your fucking little face cam will cover something important. And when it does, when there's all this stuff on the screen, and you're like, I don't know where to put it. You don't need your camera. You could do it like other people where they've got the overlay, like what I have here, which is an overlay so that the screen here, and I've got that. Oh, and I am still on, oh, well. I'll just leave it.
A lot of people don't use it at all, actually.
Yeah. Being bought out meant trying to get the most money benefits out of it, which is probably what happened. Stream is still garbage and he doesn't understand OBS. Oh, no, he doesn't. The fact that it took him this long to figure out that they're like profiles and shit like that. He didn't know profiles. He didn't know any of this stuff. And here's another thing he doesn't get. Like, one of the biggest problems that he has... Hold on. Did this? Oh, good. This is done. He doesn't understand anything about OBS. Like, he doesn't understand.
Sucks. I did not know that about Supermassive Games at all. That really stinks.
What have I got? Okay.
Do I
still
like
have
Reese's
something.
Pieces?
Alright, let's-
Yes, I think they're delicious. I don't know what the hell the question was for, but yes, I love Reese's Pieces. I used to eat them a lot when I was a kid, and I still like them as an adult. I rarely eat candy, but yes, I like them.
Let's switch to something else. All right, we'll do that one.
So I don't know what's going on. The stream chat is dramatically slowing down out of nowhere. I don't know why.
People don't want to talk. Oh, do I want to?
I got a $1 tip from an anonymous tipper saying, how's the stream going and what I think of the Fallout TV series? Well, I have an entire 2+ hour event discussing the Fallout TV series on my DSP Reacts channel. The first hour, I summarized the series and gave my thoughts on the plot and how it was. In the second half, I did an entire interactive Q&A with a live audience for over an hour, talking about the lore, the controversies around it being woke, about everything. So if you want my opinion, go check that out on the Reacts channel. In a nutshell, I love the show. I thought that it was very well done. I don't think that any lore changes were ruining or anything like that. I thought the plot was great. It was acted well. Everything was good. It's like super duper good conversion of the show, and I can't wait for a future season. There you go. Yes, I would prefer not to talk about political topics, as you know. Political topics
come on,
are
no,
incredibly,
we need DS politics.
Political topics are making our country in the United States become incredibly divided. What I mean by that is, there's some things where people, you could talk to them and they can say, okay, you know, I agree to disagree. Like one person might say, I love Mass Effect. Another person might say, you know, I hate Mass Effect. All right, no big deal. I agree to disagree, right? But on politics, it's like, that's the line in our country that people aren't willing to be open-minded about. You know, be like, oh, well, I think this on this particular topic. And the person's like, you think what? How dare you have that line of thought that's not in line with my line of thought on that topic? I hate you, I disown you, and I want nothing to do with you forever. Like, wait a minute. There's just one topic we were talking about. You know, well, I'm sorry, Phil. I disown you. I can't ever watch your gaming content. I can't watch your React content. I can't watch your throwback content because you disagree with me on a political point. That's how people are today. It's like, I don't know why they're that close-minded. I just feel like we're in that part of, especially now with this election coming up in our country, it feels like there is the most big divide in our country that I've ever seen about politics. Excuse me. So for me, I'm like, do I really want to start talking politics right now? I don't think so. Will I eventually talk politics? Yes, I do think I will. As I get older, I think that's where stuff will push. As I get older, if I'm an older guy, are people really going to care about my opinions on video games forever? Probably not, right? They're going to want to know more about other life things that are important to them. And being that I get older, I'm more experienced and more wise. Maybe they want to hear my opinions on that stuff. In which case, maybe I will share. Right? But for now, no. It's out of the question. I'm not doing political content, and I'm not going to let anyone push me that way either. I like the mix that I've been doing this year. I do. I like having gameplay.
Yeah, you don't agree. He bans you anyway. Yeah.
Content, a mix between throwback, modern, and reacting to random stuff. I just like the idea of this stuff. I think it's going well. I want to keep it going like that.
He does that so often. And yes, politics is inherently divisive.
As an ADHD nostalgia for the mall, I watched the Seinfeld episode of not being able to find your car in the parking garage. I love your thoughts. Oh, that's that stupid meme. Cool, I can just ban you now. There's some dumb meme going around.
Who are like,
saying about getting lost in a parking lot, you can't find your car. I don't even know what it is.
But when you come to my chat
and 17, 18 accounts just keep repeating the same meme and it has no meaning, I just ban you on
there
site.
is no thing of like
telling me that's who you were so I can get rid of you. So
that's may not be an agree to disagree kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know what the meme is, but no exaggeration, in the last 2 weeks, there's been like 20, 30 people who've come in here and said the same thing about you can't find your car in a mall parking lot. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? I ignored them for a while, then there's just so many of them, I just ban on site now. Like, whatever. The fuck out of here. I don't care. Look at me. I'm not going to be concerned about it, whatever.
Like, for a lot of things, I will agree to disagree.
I have no enemies. When it comes to more chill talk streams, again, I like doing these. I don't think they should be all the time, because if you do these all the time, they become less interesting. For example,
you know,
look what happened with Kat. She came on 2 Q&A streams. The first one, everyone was excited for. The second one, by the end, it was getting boring, right? People ran out of topics. If you do this like once a month, probably enough to do it and put it in the rotation and make it fun and interesting. But if you do it more than that, people are just going to have nothing to talk about or just saying dumb shit, and I'm just not going to waste my time on that. I'd much rather be doing something else, so... So, speaking of which, what else do you guys want to talk about? Because it seems like the chat is slowing down, and there's really no contributions to shout out right now.
Dumb questions.
So what is the hot topic? What do you guys want to discuss tonight?
Yeah, and like him shitting on 1 Minute Man is really a bad thing for him to be doing, because he really does need to.
Shadow of the Colossus, yeah, that game absolutely is an original. Like, I remember I didn't play the original. I played the HD
on 1 Minute Man.
And even when I played it,
really shows that he never learned from the Dutch brothers.
Unique. Every enemy is just a boss fight. That's a puzzle boss, and they all are different and behave differently and have different aspects to them. That's a really good game.
Back and forth on the X and Y axis.
What I think of the movie Apocalypse Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't really remember it that well. I only saw it once. I probably have to rewatch it to have an opinion.
To have an opinion. Like,
oh, man.
The way he doesn't even say, like I have to rewatch again to have an opinion. This really shows, I think this really kind of shows how Phil consumes media. It's just, he consumes it like he devours food. It's just in one hole, out the other, and there isn't any kind of, there's no neuron activity saying, oh, hey. Like, if all you gotta do is say, yeah, it's been so long since I said it, I need to rewatch it. I don't remember much about it. But to have an opinion, it's like, you don't have to say that. In paragraph 4, deleting him. Why should I fight someone who I won't meet? Yeah. We started out 10, so we still have skip.
Do I like card battlers in games? What do you mean? Card battlers? What's a card battler? I don't even know what that means, actually.
Oh, that more mobile game talk.
Have I considered ever doing challenge runs, like a no level up run in a Souls game? I don't think I would ever be able to win a no level up run in a Souls game. I'm not good enough, but I would consider doing special runs and things if people liked it, but no one's ever really demanded one or even requested
he would consider it if people will give him money. It only affects when a person will fight tooth and nail. Yeah, I get that. It's kind of like I'm just like, it's best just to kind of.
All right, yeah, glad to have here tonight those 3 gamers.
But like,
no, I don't have any other fighting game awards. No one really gave them out. In the time when I was doing tournaments and stuff, no one was giving out.
This is a guy
awards.
who's like, oh,
even this one. Did you guys ever see the award?
But he's bitched about like President's Day. He bitched about federal holidays, which is already a political take. Remember, get out there and work, bitch.
So first of all, it's obvious this is supposed to be a trophy for like a karate championship based on the dude doing karate on the top of it. And it says,
yes, Phil,
Tekken, or FYE first place, Tekken 3 tournament on the bottom. For your entertainment, which I don't know if it still exists. I think it does. It's not in the capacity it used to. It used to have arcades and stuff attached to it. And, you know, it's pretty obvious that, oh, look.
It's karate.
Penfield Trophies, Inc. from Penfield, New York. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the trophy company
sticker on the bottom.
Make those.
So that's it. That's my one ever trophy that I ever got in anything. I've won tons of tournaments, but no one ever gave out trophies for them. You know?
He only has one trophy
Why
ever?
did I keep it? I don't know. Probably because it's the only trophy I have. Right? It's literally the only trophy I ever got in anything. So like, oh, I guess I'm like, hold on to it or whatever.
Phil, that's
right?
sad.
But does it mean anything? No. You know, they never gave these out for any Street Fighter tournaments. Why? Because Street Fighter tournaments were grassroots things.
Did you not
where
play
it would be
any
like, you go in,
sports when you were a kid?
entry fee, you know, and then basically they take the percent of the entry fee and they divvy it up among the top 3 who in the tournament, and that's what you win, a little bit of money, and that was it. There's nothing else to it.
Wow.
It wasn't. There was no. You didn't win a video game. You didn't win a joystick. You didn't win a trip. You just won a few bucks.
Part of
so they didn't even spend money on something like this.
The
like
80s and 90s
no
when
big deal.
participation trophies were a thing.
And
you don't have any trophies. Like, this paints a picture of Phil just not doing anything, not doing any kind of activities or anything. Oh, hi, Chair-kun. Bye, Chair-kun.
Oh, phew.
What?
Am I excited for the new Luigi's Mansion? I mean, it's a remake of 2, which I have on the 3DS but never played. Would people want to see me play the remake? I don't know. No, I'm not excited for it. No. I'm literally not excited for it.
That trophy there where you
can
see it all the time.
But I'm not like, oh yeah, excited for it or anything.
God, I'm not doing well this game.
See, here's the other stupid meme about realtors trying to become celebrities. I don't even know what that means. So now when I see that, I'm just going to ban that too, because I don't even know what that means. I mean, you come in and you say a stupid meme that I've seen 40 other people say, I'm just going to ban you on site and not care. I don't even know what these things mean.
Why aren't you talking about food, guys? Talk about food.
Do I own or use any VR? The only VR I've ever owned was a PlayStation VR 1, and that's severely outdated, and no, I have not gotten anything since, nor do I want to.
He did bring out the
really
trophy.
Fit my style of content being
he brought out the karate trophy.
Like, how would I wear a VR headset
and he
do
said that was the only trophy he ever got.
No,
I'm like, that is
Plus,
sad.
for when I had it, it wasn't great. You know, at first the gimmick was good for like 2 months, and I played a whole bunch of games. Then why doesn't he ask the memes about?
Because
Job Simulator,
Manta Ronin, he doesn't care about it. So
what was the one that was about the end
never
of the world?
ask
God
about
was
it.
talking
You don't
to
care.
demons and stuff. There's that one.
That's how it always is.
It was like a horror game, but puzzles as well. Oh, there was the one that was like the 3 different things. There was a heist, but then there was also like an underwater thing with the underwater creatures around you and stuff like that. There was the on-rail shooter of Until Dawn that I can't remember what it was called. Like Festival of Blood or something, Carnival of Blood, something like that. But yeah, so there was a good gimmick. It lasted like 2 months, and then after that, I was like, nah. And then I started getting sick to my stomach playing it. Like, I actually started to get physically ill trying to play this stupid thing. That wasn't good. The last game I played on it was Resident Evil 7. And I thought that it was neat because it would aim when you turned your head. You didn't have to use the controller to aim. You'd use your head to aim. But I didn't feel like it added anything to the game, honestly. Like, it was the same game as if you were playing it without it. Just you turn your head to look. That was really it. So after that one, I was like, I don't care about this anymore. And I literally never used it ever again. So.
Good job. You wasted all that. Whoever gave it to you is a sucker.
I got a $1 tip. Someone says card battlers are games like Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, and Pokemon. I already answered that on the stream, and I said, no, I've never played a competitive card game, so I don't know why someone would ask me the same question twice. What are my thoughts on Another Crab's Treasure and whether it's really similar to Dark Souls like the critics are saying? I've seen some playthroughs by you and YouTubers. I just don't see the similarity. Looks like a PS2 era, kids era action game. No, it plays like Dark Souls. It has very similar elements to Dark Souls. It absolutely does.
I haven't seen any of his crab games. Is it actually Dark Souls,
or dodge and counter hit or parry mechanic like Sekiro? The stagger mechanic of building up a stagger bar on the enemy and then before you can take them out. That's all very Souls-esque. You know, the bonfires, which are moon shells or whatever, and the leveling systems and all that. Literally, all of that is very Souls-esque for sure. That's why. Is it exactly like Dark Souls? No. Is it similar? Yeah, it's similar. It's similar to FromSoft games. It's not necessarily all Dark Souls. Like I said, there's a lot of Sekiro in there, but it definitely is similar to FromSoft games in good ways. Like, I actually really like the game, and I can't wait to play it again.
See, I thought he wasn't going to play any
Did I ever have Massimo's in Bridgeport? I've said it.
Souls
I told you guys that I had
Massimo's.
Massimo's.
From FromSoft. After, damn. A lot of face
playing a terrible game
debts,
like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde or Superman 64 as a joke. I already played
DS.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I had a Halloween special a million years ago. It was called Jekyll versus Jason, where I played Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And,
I love
Friday the
how
13th.
childish
And I
he
basically
is.
compared the two
Oh, it
games.
was a million years ago. It
That's
was
super
during the
ancient. It's some of my
Paleozoic
oldest
era.
content that I ever did for YouTube from back in the day. I never played Superman 64 simply because there was no way to play it. There was no way to actually play the game. I didn't own an N64 back in the days when you would have the camera set up, and they don't have it direct capture.
This is, to me, him saying, oh, he never owned it, to me is kind of where I'm going to go with the thing that I think Shinko has said, where, yeah, he never owned any consoles. Yeah, he might have owned a Super Nintendo growing up, but then he didn't own anything until the PS3. I don't think he owned anything. Because you could tell, like, some of these things is just, like... also, the fact that how he would talk about, like... I'm sorry,
emulated
when
on
you
any
talk
console.
about Ocarina of Time, oh, that was a C-tier
so,
game.
Since there's
like,
no way to play it, I've never played Superman 64. I'm aware of what it is. I used to be a fan of AVGN, and the Angry Video Game Nerd had a giant video about it back in the day and how bad it was. So, you know, I already know all about the game.
You
I've never
didn't like
personally played
it. And you didn't like the
If I ever
nostalgia
bring back
because you
gamer
called them
t-shirts,
two
maybe during the
Dude.
summertime, if I get tired of my nice button downs and I want to go back to a few t-shirts, I can do that. I'll leave that open as an option. But I'm enjoying the cooling nature of these shirts. These are nice. They're relaxing. They have good aeration. I like these shirts a lot. It's something that's a good style that I never had because I was busy wearing gamer t-shirts for 15 years. Like an
aeration.
Idiot.
Oh my god! Like Phil again with the
how superstitious am I? I'm not really. I'm not really superstitious at all.
That he thinks makes him sound smart.
Like I said, I've never in my life I've never experienced anything supernatural. I definitely have experienced deja vu a few times, but I don't know if there's anything to that. But I definitely feel
that's
like there's
because
times like, oh, I've done this before.
The Matrix
right?
changed,
When I don't
Phil.
really remember having, but I think I did. But outside of that, that's about it. I see nothing about UFOs, alien experiences, nothing supernatural, nothing ghosts, nothing demons, goblins, or nothing like that. So since I've never seen it, I'm not really caring about it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Like people say, do you think aliens could exist? Of course they could. What about ghosts? Yeah, maybe. Maybe ghosts exist. Maybe there's a scientific explanation for these paranormal phenomena that we've seen. We just don't have that scientific explanation yet because we haven't studied it well enough to know. You know, we have footage of UFOs, but it's not flying saucers. It's just weird objects that are flying way faster than anything we know about. So it's like, so what could that possibly be?
UFO just means unidentified flying object. We haven't been able to identify it.
There is no way that anything supernatural could possibly occur. There's no aliens and no ghosts. And if you think about it, you're a dummy.
Okay, aliens are not supernatural, Phil. He literally thinks we have an actual goblin named Cyrax. He thinks aliens are supernatural instead of we just don't have any proof that anything exists in another, we just don't have proof that extraterrestrial life exists in a sapient form that can, fly spaceships and shit. Like, extraterrestrial life probably exists as, like, bacteria, but,
No, I'm not like that. I'm open-minded. It's just I've never experienced anything like that in my life. So why would I think of that?
But
and
to
why
say
would I be
that
superstitious
aliens would be
when I've never seen anything
supernatural
happen
is
of that nature in my
so
life? You know what I'm
dumb.
saying? So
That's
the way. But hey,
so
if something changed and I did experience something, maybe I would believe in that stuff and become superstitious. I don't know. But I've never seen it. I'm 42 years old. Do you think at this point I probably would have already seen something?
Like,
I was
I'm
gonna see
sure
something,
that there are,
right?
there was,
Or
is,
experience
or
something, I
will
guess you
be
should say, 'cause it's not just about vision,
other
right?
intelligent life on other planets. Who knows if we'll ever come in contact with them? We don't know.
If I had 3 monkey's paw
Is
wishes,
it
what would they
possible?
be? The first wish would be, please let me be able to make 3 wishes without any bad repercussions whatsoever.
Phil, it's a monkey's paw. You ain't getting that. Like, he honestly thinks he could. Like, this is the way he's like, oh, you have 3 monkey's paw wishes. What would they be? The first one is undo the monkey's paw. Like, that's not how that works, Phil. Which he either knows about it, but seems to think he could just get out of it. Like, what the fuck? And look, he's got that smug smile where he thinks he said something really clever. Like, Phil, that wasn't that clever.
My number 2 wish would be, like, please have infinite wishes, and then it doesn't matter what the 3rd wish is because I'm home free. There you go. I just infinitely wish forever, whatever I want. There you go.
Look at how look at that thing. He thinks that was a clever. He thought that was a clever thing to say. Like, oh, okay. First, it's like, oh, no monkey's paw thing. Just try. Like, you could do that with a monkey's paw. No, Phil, you can't do that. The whole point is trying to come up with a wish that would be, you know, part of the monkey's paw, but that you would say it in a way that you wouldn't be able to have that negative repercussion. That's the whole point. It's using your brain muscle.
You can't do that? Fuck you. I'll do what I want. It's a monkey's paw. I can wish whatever I fucking want, bitch.
Oh my god, he really doesn't understand how a monkey's paw works. Like, he doesn't get the idea that, no, the monkey's paw is supposed to be, you have to be very careful about how you wish for things, or else your hubris will fuck you up. Like, he honestly is thinking that it's almost like a genie's lamp. It's like, that's not how that it works, Phil. And thank you for whatever Dent decided to do that. I hope that you are happy with that answer, where he just decided, no, fuck you, I'm not going to give you a good answer. And he just kind of, you know, he didn't give you a good answer, and now he's laughing, thinking he's outsmarted everyone.
There you go.
Why am I toxic?
There might be other life forms in space? No, not at all. Not scared of space.
In space, no one can hear you,
Timmy has
babe.
been asking if I'll play Manor Lords for 20 minutes. No, he hasn't. He's just been spamming, please play Manor Lords for 20 minutes. That's completely different. He hasn't asked the question. He just keeps spamming the requests to play. That's a very different thing. We already talked about Manor Lords. On this very stream, someone asked me about it, said they're playing, and I said, I don't know if anyone would like to see me play a single builder. I've never done one before. Let me know your thoughts.
Gives
so
this
obviously Timmy
really
must be exercising his
shitty thing
thoughts.
and be like,
Well, we've
I
heard from
can
Timmy.
wish for
Thank you.
everyone. I have
You
a
can stop
monkey's
spamming now.
paw. It really kind of showing he doesn't understand what a monkey's paw is. Yeah, if he had an infinite amount of monkey's paw
Would I
wishes,
rather have
he
the
would
Dragon
fuck it
Balls, the
all
Death Note,
up.
or a Devil Fruit? Well, the Dragon
Like,
Ball.
He doesn't understand that. Yeah, he would fuck up a monkey's paw wish, because everyone fucks them up. That's the whole point of it.
How many wishes do you get with the Dragon Balls?
For guys, it's like, well, okay, it depends. Originally, you would get 1 wish per year from Shenron. Then you would have Frogga would be 3 wishes, but those wishes were very limited. Then it became 3 wishes on Shenron. However, if you wish for multiple people to return, that kind of takes up 2 wishes. So things are weird.
Forget. Is it 3? Because if you get the Dragon Balls, couldn't you just wish? Like I say, my first wish is to have the Death Note in my hands. But no, hold on. Let's try this again. My first
God, don't let him have a Death Note.
wish is to have the Death Note in my hands, but within its pages would be a devil fruit. Right? Oh, okay. So you get both. You get a twofer, right? There's nothing.
But Phil, you do understand that the thing about the Death Note is the whole thing about Death Note was that one, Light was a bad guy. He was not somebody that you should he was the protagonist, but he was not the good guy. He was the villain of the story. And the fact that you only have that until the Shinigami gets bored and takes it back from you and puts your name in it. And when you do that, you don't go to heaven or hell, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it was, not to run. When it was Kami, it was just 1. Dende upgraded it to 3. However, if you used it to bring multiple people back to life, you only got 2 wishes at that point. Yeah, the only correct way to wish for a monkey's paw is wish you never found it in the first place.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Oh,
see, that's why all these
Drax, that might be the best wish you could do with a monkey's paw. Is wish I did not ever find
everyone
this
in
in
a
the
horror
first
story
place.
is stupid, right? There's literally, have you ever seen
or
a
that
horror
it
movie
never
really
could be
smart
found in the
and
first
they could just
place?
easily figure ways out of situations? No, but that's the appeal of a horror movie, is that they're dumb fucks who find themselves in these ridiculous situations. See? So that's what you do, is you just find a way. Like, for example, let's say you get the Dragon Balls and you summon the dragon, okay? First wish, I want unlimited supply of Dragon Balls right now. Oh, he says, I cannot do that. Okay. Well, I want a magic lamp that contains a genie that grants infinite wishes.
Like, oh my God. See, look at the idea of give me infinite wishes. That's his whole thing of, oh, see, I'm smart. It's like, Phil, the Dragon Balls and all that stuff, like even genies and all that had limits on their abilities. They could not, like, the Dragon Ball can't do that because it's something outside of what his creator could do. That is the idea of the Dragon Balls is if it's outside of what his creator has the power to do, the dragon cannot do that. You know, this is one of the reasons why Goku could not be forced to come back at the end of the Frieza saga, the Namek saga, because he was stronger than Kami, and Kami could not force him to return. So, and oh, sorry, that was no, that was the Namekian dragon, Porunga. So, like Guru or whoever, who was it? Oh, the new elder of the Namekians could not do that, and therefore, yeah. If you can't imagine what you want, the dragon cannot do it. The Super Dragon Balls will allow it, but there's no way he's getting the Super Dragon Balls. Yes, the Super Dragon Balls kind of break the game, kind of break the whole immersion. But I don't think he knows the Super Dragon Balls. I think he only knows the regular Dragon Balls, and also the fact is that even if the dragon does that, guess what? The dragon can still like a dragon could still do a bit of a
you use your one limited wish to get something unlimited. That's what you do.
I know, Nanto Ronin. I know that, yeah, 17 wished for all of the universes to come back. However, I don't, like, we're talking about the, you know, I'm just going to go with the Earth Dragon Balls. There's no way he could do that. But again, all this stuff is hubris, and the dragons are sentient creatures. They're sentient beings, so they could fuck it up. Like, I mean, remember when they brought Piccolo back on the planet, he just was wherever because they didn't specifically say where he needs to end up on Namek.
Why would you not do that? Your first wish must be unlimited. You have to do something that will lead to the unlimited wish. You see what I'm saying?
And yes, Sins, you're right. Wishing for infinite wish is what a 5-year-old would wish for. My wish is to be a healthy body, healthy mind, and a bit of washed up doubloons. Yeah, healthy body, healthy mind, and I would just go with, you know, enough money that, you know, myself and, you know, 3-4 of my generations down the line wouldn't have to work. Wouldn't have to, you know, suffer in poverty. Something like that. Yeah,
right?
Shenron can't do infinite wishes.
Why wouldn't you say, if you have the Dragon Balls, I wish for a cave full of Dragon Balls that only I know about and can access?
He doesn't understand. What he doesn't, 2 more inches. Shinzakuri, 2 inches in height, like Frieza. I want to raise my height by 5 centimeters, or 2 inches. While Bulma wants to use the Dragon Balls to make herself younger by 5 years. But think about this. He honestly thinks that like the Dragon Ball could do that. Like it never occurs to, like, this is so childish of being like, no, there would be limits to the wishes. Yeah, Porunga can't do infinite wishes. Even the Super Dragon couldn't do infinite wishes because he gets one wish and then the Dragon Balls scatter. What Phil doesn't understand is that it's magic based on the creator of those balls.
That's your wish. Now everyone fuck off. Now I can wish infinite wishes because I have infinite Dragon Balls in a cave and only I can get to them. So go fuck yourself. That's what you do. Why do people not figure this out? That's what I mean. Any of these stories, horror movies where it goes horribly wrong, it's because people are morons. Oh, look, a monkey's paw. Let me make a wish on it. Wish number 1. I wish that absolutely no wishes I make on this monkey's paw would ever have a negative effect on anyone and nothing would ever backfire.
Bill, like, see, he thinks that that's a thing, which is like, But the fact is that it wouldn't work. Yeah, that's the problem. His ability to wish, he thinks that, oh, I'll just put this caveat as the first wish, and then I wish for infinite wishes. Like, that's not how that works. Like, the idea is that, hey, you got this wish, it takes the hubris that you have. As Drax said, the best wish you can make on a monkey's paw is that you never found the monkey's paw in the first place. And you're good. Like, goes to show he doesn't know anything about the lore of Dragon Ball. Yeah, his why nots. His why nots are always this childish thing of, why can't I just hack the system for my own benefit? It's like, it's a monkey's paw. The idea is, can you make a wish that doesn't have the hubris on it, that you might be able to then, you know... Because I always got with a monkey's paw that it's the hubris of your wish and the greed of your wish. Like, if you made a truly altruistic wish, and truly out of altruism, that the monkey's paw might leave you alone and might be okay with that. But
okay, good. Now you have 2 wishes to do whatever you want with, right?
even as Isagini was said, no asking for more wishes. Yeah. He doesn't get that. A wish granting is one of the big things will always
I
be
received
you are
a
not
super
allowed
chat
to
from
ask for
Michael.
more wishes.
Michael says, or asks, would you do a stream of no return mode from the remastered Last of Us 2? No, I don't want to play Last of Us 2 ever again. I don't like it. I think the game is, sadly, not fun because the story is terrible.
Yeah, infinite wishes creates
some of
corruption
the
with the
things you
Dragon
gotta
Balls.
enjoy about a game
it shows
like that
he didn't even
is
want
the story. I mean,
like,
half
as
of the
much
game
as
is
I
narrative,
don't
half
like
is gameplay.
GT,
Well, the narrative
I
is terrible.
did like the
I don't ever
idea
want to
that
find myself
all of
playing
the
that narrative
wishes
again. So
the
I would
overuse
never
the
play that
Dragon
mode,
Balls
even
had
if it
caused
is a challenge. I
corruption
don't care.
with them.
I don't
And
like
why
the
you
game
had
itself.
then like
Stories,
the
right?
evil dragons.
What was my dream job when I was a kid? I didn't have
Because
one. Like any kid, I just fantasized
the
about
Dragon Radar, then
oh, I want to be a
using it too
firefighter.
quickly,
I want to
so
be a fireman. I want to be in the
bad
army. I want to be
energy
this and that.
is,
You know, and then when you
stored
grow up and you
there.
realize that none of those
I
jobs
actually-
are what you thought they were when
I'll
you
be
were a
honest,
kid.
I kind of
The
like
world is not
that.
black and white, goody
I thought that was an interesting take,
you're like, oh,
even
shit.
if I'm
I don't
not
want
a
to do
big
any
fan
of
of
those
GT
things,
as
right?
a series.
Do I care more about gameplay or story? They can be equally important. It depends on the style of game. Like the Telltale Last of Us games have almost no
his
gameplay
whole thing
elements
of
to them.
infinite wishes,
And a
like,
lot of the
no
time,
genie would allow
the
that.
story is so good you keep
Bill
playing.
never really watched Dragon Ball.
Flip
Huge
that on
fan
its
series,
head,
no good portion
Take a
of
look
the
at
lore.
a game like
Yeah,
Street
and, like-
Fighter. I play Street Fighter for the gameplay. I could give 2 shits what the story's about. I just think the gameplay is riveting, exciting. It makes you get hooked and want to play it more, right? So it depends on it really depends on the
He
game.
doesn't know, and it
Okay,
also shows that whenever he has a wish, his idea is just to game the system and to have infinite wishes so he can have whatever he wants. Like, it isn't like, oh, like, because if you had 3 wishes and like a genie gave it to you, yeah, one of them would be, you know, it would be, you know, good health. I mean, you know, good health, good sound mind, and probably, you know, money so I wouldn't have to worry about financial issues. I mean, I couldn't do like... The problem is that with the way the wishes are, like, you couldn't do, like, I would say you couldn't do, like, oh, good health for me and other, and, like, if it was, like, me and my partner, well, that's 2 wishes, technically, in my opinion. If I was a genie, no, that's 2 wishes. You sure you want to do that? If a genie met Phil, he would try to use his wish for $1 billion, then
Be
genie
right
would
back.
just drop it on Phil's head. Yeah.
Okay. I just need to pause, guys, because I have to pee. So I'm gonna use the restroom very quickly. Come back, and I'll probably still go for like another half an hour. But I have to pee, so I'll be right back.
I know that was something in the live action remake of Aladdin, where Will Smith as the genie even talks about like you have to be
I don't
very
have the on-break
very
symbol for this screen. I just
you have
realized
to
that I
be
never
very
added the
specific
on-break symbol
about
for
your
this
wishes.
screen, so I can't say on-break. So I'll just literally be right back. Okay.
Because he likes Aladdin, he tells him that if you're not specific about your wishes, they can come out wrong, and that he can interpret them in any way he wants. Which I thought was an interesting way of doing it. Like, yeah, a genie could, if you're a dick, decide to, he wants $1 billion. Well, you just get $1 billion that's 5 feet above your head. Yeah, guess what? You just, hey, crack your neck and die. Oops. Although, wait, genies can't. Well, those genies might not be able to kill anybody. So he would have a broken neck, but he would still live. But think about it, like, the reason that there are limitations so that it's not like just full omnipotence, and Phil can't understand that. Oh yeah, with Death Note, yeah, you don't go to heaven and hell, you go to you end up in purgatory, the Shinigami's realm. Like, the thing about it is that, that's the thing about the Death Note. And the whole thing is like, it's one where it's like, you know what? That's a thing of like, I don't touch that. But like, Phil doesn't understand that because I don't think that Phil really understands how much of a god complex Light has in that show. And the fact that, the original manga, it was supposed to end when L gets killed. But once he finds out the true name, L gets killed. That was supposed to be the end of the series, but, Although, I think it was like either the stage musical where it's like, oh, yeah, L gets killed, and then Shinigami's like, I'm bored now.
Okay, guys, ready to resume?
I'm gonna take
All right,
this from you.
Okay, I'm back. Just had a little bit of a bathroom break, and now we can continue on.
A little bit of
Let's
a
see what else
bathroom
we
break.
want to talk about tonight. Am I playing
I'm
Hellblade 2?
sure
Yes,
Phil's
I am.
diabetic. I'm just gonna
What
say,
do I want to do when I grow
diabetic.
up? A firefighter, of course. Okay. What else did I miss? Nothing. Everyone clammed up because I was in the bathroom, apparently. Right?
Yeah, because no one's here. All right, let's see if I can.
Totally misclicked. Okay.
I'll do that. Okay. Ooh, we're close.
Do you remember the old Telltale games like Back to the Future? Back to the Future was the first one I ever played, and I liked it because I was a big fan of the Back to the Future movies. That's why I really liked it.
Jinn or literal evil spirits.
The Back to the Future games were based more on
Well, the
puzzles
thing about Jinn
rather than
is,
just
like,
narrative and quick time. So they
What
could actually be
Phil
pretty
doesn't
frustrating. That game
understand is that, like, the genie in Aladdin is a very nice genie, but some of them, you could get wishes, but they could be assholes about it.
pretty frustrating in that regard.
I'm gonna speed him up a little bit.
I think Walking Dead hit it on the head of what people wanted, and that's why they just emulated that formula for all their future IPs, right? I think retirement home would be appealing in the future, or do I want to avoid that path? I mean, I don't know. Who knows what the future holds, right?
You have to
I
have
hope that my wife and I
the
can take
person's
care of each
face
other
in
till the
mind
end
when
of our
using
lives.
the death
You never
note.
know what's going to happen.
I thought you also have to
I'm not
have
saying anything about that 'cause I
their
really don't
actual
know.
name. Like, you have to put their full name in the death note as well.
Why?
So you have to
Susha?
know who they are and
116
do
to the Super
that.
Chat says, what would you say is your favorite AVGN episode?
Once
Oh,
Kira
man.
tried to sell the death
I'd
note
have
in
to
an
scour
auction,
my
USA
brain. You know,
won
I
the
watched
auction.
AVGN
Rules: if a person who bought the
regularly
death note will die, and
until
the
I would
seller will
say-
die too.
Like, I remember
could
one of the
see
last
that.
episodes I ever watched was probably when he was reviewing either,
Death
like,
Note is something I would
Jaguar.
never. I'm like,
or-
no, I better not.
I'm trying to remember
Death Note is
exactly
actual
when I stopped
temptation.
watching. And then years
That's
later, I
some
caught up and watched some
temptation
other
right
episodes.
there.
And then I've watched sporadically. So I've seen
Because
some
you'd be like,
AVGN
oh, you could
since
do
the old
all
days,
this
but
good
not
with it. And
fun.
you're like,
I
yeah,
sometimes
no.
hear an episode's really good and
You
I'll check
better
it
not
out.
do that because it's.
Man, I'm trying to think out of the old ones. Obviously, AVGN just did an episode today, did he? I'll check it out tonight. I'll see if it's any good. Because some of them I really like, and some of them I think are atrocious today. So back in the day, some of the oldest AVGN episodes that I remember that stand out, I remember he always did an amazing Halloween special. His first one ever, which was, Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. Or result flip of that, he started Friday the 13th.
Oh
then it
yeah,
was,
Drax. Yeah,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Jafar
like, that was
becoming
amazing.
a
He played the
genie.
characters, or his friend helped him play the characters. That was really cool. Like one of
because
the oldest
Jafar
episodes,
wanted
I
to
think,
become a
got
genie
known
because
was Ninja
he
Turtles. The Ninja
he
Turtles
found out
NES
that
episode.
he
'Cause
remembered
was
that
fucking hilarious that he can't
Aladdin
jump
tricked
because he
him
just walk over the fucking hole.
because
It's
the
like,
idea
no
is
one
the
would have known
genie
that
had
yet.
more power than
What
Jafar
the fuck
is
is
this
this?
powerful sorcerer.
So
So he
later on,
decided
let me
that
think.
he wanted to have that power.
Some of that
and-
episode's older ones, Like, I like the original Bugs Bunny episode because it was like crazy slapstick, over the top slapstick. That was a different style. I also like that he did different
Sorcerer's interesting because it takes place after
like
Lights
one year
killed.
he did
Yeah.
like Bible games, but then in future years he did like a special where he was pretending it was like a parody of A Christmas Carol. That was really neat. Basically, whenever he did something that wasn't just a plain game review, but also had like some kind of added cinematic stuff. Oh, you know what I like? The Batman episodes? The Batman episodes where he dresses up like Batman, his friend dresses up like the Joker. Those were good because it's not just about the game, but about the comedic nature of what's going on and the action, or the acting,
because you
and the
dressed
scripting
up
outside
like
of the gameplay.
Bill, like,
oh,
you
the
gotta talk
Spider-Man
about,
episode.
I don't know,
That's the
maybe
oldest
the
one,
fact that,
and today
yeah,
it looks like shit.
James
It's
has
just
some,
fucking funny. The
knows
writing
how
is
to
funny,
do
you
video.
know? So those are the ones I like. The ones where, like,
production,
he had
you
an
know.
added thing going on. It wasn't just him reviewing a game. But
Actually,
it
he's
was like
always
an
had
added thing
really
where, like, an actor
good
would come in, or
way
a
of
cool script that they would
even back
participate
in the
in.
day of being able
Those are
to
some of my favorite ones of all time. I feel.
you know, record things
I
from
did, yes.
his
So, I have no enemies.
game
You've seen one
systems,
called
because what he
Now
would
I have.
do is
People
he
told me about it
used a
years later,
DVD
and then
recorder.
people convinced me to go check it out. And I admit that's a pretty good one because Macaulay Culkin as an adult in it playing the games where he's a kid is fucking hilarious because the games are so bad. Obviously, it's a
Well,
that's
also
a really good
because
episode.
Macaulay Culkin as an adult knows how to doesn't mind being the joke.
Yeah, I heard about that crazy Star Wars Outlaws edition. That's $150.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he likes much. Like, you could kind of tell.
Tubs thinks Stardew Valley would not work for a marathon. It's too
There's
slow.
a lot of stuff where it's just like
It wouldn't make sense. Thinks that like Spelunky 2 would work better.
unless it's food. There's definitely some issues with him just not caring about certain thing and just the way he consumes
like this, like,
media.
once a month.
And
About once a month.
Steve of the Dead made a really good video about it. He just
I think $70 is too
consumes
expensive for a new
media
game.
and just
I think $70 is too expensive when the majority of games that are coming out are unfinished. If a game's coming out actually represented what we were promised, because you remember what these game devs, or excuse me, I shouldn't say game devs, I should say these game publishers and big companies, right? Like EA and stuff were saying, oh, well, the $10 extra is to make up for the added production cost because the games are so much better. It's literally been the opposite. All the games became $70 and games have actually become factually worse. And that's not acceptable, right? If you're going to charge me more, but you're going to give me more quality or more content or whatever,
interesting.
cool. But if you're going to charge me more and
thought.
actually give me less than what I was receiving previously, you're full of shit. So that's the problem. That's why I don't have a problem paying $70 for
games
games
either. But
it's
that's
just
just
so rare to
because
get a
the
great
fact
game for
is,
$70 these days.
everything is just kind of. And, oh well. It's a broken clock thing with Phil.
Tub says Stardew Valley is good enough that it deserves me actually giving it like a real playthrough attempt, not only playing for the first 3 in-game days and then moving on because I didn't get far enough. And you know, and that's what happened. If you remember, that's what happened during that Indies marathon I played years ago. I basically just did like the first few days of an introduction, and that was it. I never got further than that. So I don't even know what comes in the game after that, right? Yes, Jasper has a collar, but no, we do not take him for walks. Number 1, he's a cat. Number 2, his front declawed, not by us, but by the person who owned him before we rescued him. And because of that, he's not safe outside. We would never take him outside because he could get hurt. Can't defend himself. Anso Kamaru says Hades 2 is fantastic so far. But here Early Access has more content than Hades 1. Someone said that. Yeah, that's neat. I'm excited for it. Like I said, I think likely people might nominate it for my Indies marathon, and maybe I'll get it and then continue it at a future date, right? Then again, I hope it will run. I mean, it is a modern game. Will it run on my mini PC? I hope it would, but I don't know if it would, right? I don't know.
Oh, I want that samurai outfit.
John Nepper says, I played Sandland. It's a good paced RPG, not too long. I got 59 hours in the game after beating the game with all side missions. Oh, yeah? What kind of a game is it? Is it a turn-based RPG? Is it action-based? I don't even know anything about it. I don't even know how it plays or anything.
You could do your own research, Phil, instead of expecting your dents to do
FYI,
the
guys,
research for
probably about
you.
another 20 minutes tonight, just so you know, so people understand the time frame or whatever. Thanks to those chilling. Thanks to those who supported the stream tonight. 1 membership, but a good amount of super chats. And as you can see, we almost hit the tier 1 tips call. So thank you guys for that. Anything last minute here would be greatly appreciated before we adjourn.
Nope, still 2. That's still a 2. That is not a 1. That is a
What do I
2.
think about people who give live prey to their pets? Well, let's see. The whole idea of a home pet, right? A not a wild animal, but you're making them domesticated, is that they're not having to go do
You're glad his
things that are
Fallout 4
wild.
is being crapped on him
Your
playing
domesticated
on
dog
Xbox, where he could be
doesn't have
having
to go
fun with
outside and
mods,
hunt
but
prey
nope,
to eat. You're going to feed
playing
it,
vanilla.
right?
Yeah,
So if that's the case,
that's
why
the
do you
thing
want
about
to
it. He just
retrain
wants to play
the
this
things that
vanilla
lost
stuff.
its
He
knowledge
doesn't
of
wanna
and
do
or
any
instinct
mods,
about
doesn't wanna
by
do
being
anything fun.
domesticated. That doesn't make sense to me. I have a cat.
It
That's
is
a domesticated
just
cat. Why would I then train it to hunt mice when it doesn't have to because it lives in the house because it's a domestic animal? It doesn't even make sense, right? People just want to do
What
weird
the
shit. I don't know.
fuck?
Those are the people who say, "Oh, we don't need to spay or neuter our pet." No, when I have a cat that is a domesticated cat, why would I then train it to hunt mice when it doesn't have to because it lives in the house because it's a domestic animal? It doesn't even.
I mean, when I was a kid, our family would have cats, and we didn't train them to hunt mice. That was instinctual. Still, like, they hunt mice because that was their, like, that is kind of part of the job that cats used to do back in the day was, oh hey, we hunt mice. We help keep rodents and vermin out of the granaries and stuff like that, so that they won't eat your grains and your food. And that's why you have barn cats and shit like that. But you don't have to train them to do it. They just do that. That is what they do.
It makes sense, right?
He literally
people
doesn't
just want to do weird
understand
shit.
cats.
I don't know. Those are the people who say, "Oh, we don't need to spay or neuter our pet." No, just have them fucking reproduce everywhere. That's a better thing, right? Yeah, that's really responsible.
That's different, Phil.
Anyway.
That is so different.
Yes, domestic cats
yes,
still
you
hunt. They
should
have an
spay or
instinct to
neuter
hunt.
your pets,
So you
but
play
that
with them and
is
you have
so
them do the
different
pounce or the
than
chase.
the whole
that's
thing
their
with
instinct to do when
mice.
they're
Like
playing.
the
They
whole
don't
thing
need to
with
hunt to
mice
eat.
is the
That's
fact
stupid.
that it's
Unless you want the animal to
hunting
mimic that action
instinct.
all the time, you shouldn't have it do the action. Do you want your cat running around attacking things all around your house for food? Do you want it attacking someone who comes to your house biting their foot thinking that it's dinner? No? Then don't teach your cat to fucking hunt to eat.
You fucking retard. You goddamn fucking retard. Do you, Phil, the reason they go after mice is because mice are small animals. They don't go, they might bite people, but they don't think that they can hunt people. Okay? There is a thing where, oh yeah, animals don't try to go for things bigger than themselves. God, you fucking idiot. This whole thing of, oh, you think you know what you're talking about, and you don't. Shit. All right.
Right? I mean, just use your fucking brain,
God.
but people are fucking stupid idiots. Okay. Thank you to NME Warlock. Thank you, Enemy Warlock, for a membership tonight. I appreciate that. And that's a new one, too, so thanks. Sandland is an open world tank hand-to-hand combat-based game? What? So it's not even RPG? What the? I didn't even know that.
He really honestly thinks people train cats to...
Didn't know Han Solo.
No, and they don't
I did not know
do
that a Mantis shrimp can generate enough force to mimic a 50 caliber bullet underwater. No, I did not. I certainly did
It
not know
would
that
mean
about
that if
Mantis
they
shrimp.
had mice or vermin in his condo, he doesn't want Jasper to go after
Oh,
him.
excuse me. Okay, what else you guys want to talk about? Anything? Hey, it's funny because when I'm on a podcast, people come up with a million topics they want to talk about. Like today, everyone wanted to keep talking about FGC stuff. And I was like, oh, this is great. We're out of time for the podcast. Let's talk about it tonight. Literally, none of you have asked me anything about that. It's just weird that, people want to talk about stuff on the podcast, but then we run out of time. Now we're here on the show, and it seems like people aren't asking those questions. Like, okay.
Phil, you do know that you have a bit of a different audience. Like, your Europeans might that might be only on one, not the other. I don't know.
No, out of the Fallout games that I've played, I like 3 and New Vegas kind of equally for various different reasons. 4 is definitely less as much liked, but I still like 4.
Oh yeah,
so.
yes, since no one trained you to crawl, no one trained you to use your 5 senses. It's instinct.
Thank you, I have no enemies. Says, hope you have a relaxing, fun, safe day off tomorrow. Thank you.
Will attack.
Hopefully, I agree with that sentiment. Hopefully, I do have a good day off tomorrow.
That's part of their
very nice.
instinct.
I did. Was Ryu solid in Super Turbo? Yes.
His
Was he
zero
top
cups
tier?
are sleeping
No,
now.
it
He
was
has
very
the
good.
J
I would say
cups.
upper mid
Yeah,
tier.
and he can't understand that. Yeah, it's a different. It's such a different audience. It's like, oh, hey, guess what? Yeah. But also, when you shit on people for questions, it makes them not really want to ask questions.
Nice. Tyrell says he made it to Blood Palace. He one-shotted Moog, the Lord of Blood. He's ready for the DLC. Good for you. I also one-shotted Moog with the comic Azure spell. He literally walked into it and never
It's
stopped
gonna be
getting blasted.
interesting if
never
the
went to
Elden
face
Ring DLC where they have something that makes it so that sorcery is just not you can't
Ready
just
to sleep in on the day off, or
sorcery.
am I up as early as usual? It depends on the day off. If the day when we have a lot of appointments and things we need to do, then I'm getting up usually the same time or
Excuse me,
even earlier.
goodness
If
gracious.
the day when it's a more laid back day where maybe I have to run errands, but there's not that much to do but that, then usually I can sleep in a bit. But ultimately, this is all decided by Jasper Kitty. If Jasper wants to be up, he's up. It doesn't matter if we're trying to sleep in or not. He's dancing all over us. He's walking on us. He's licking us. He's meowing. He's pawing us. That's how Jasper is. If he wants up, he wakes us up. So it all depends on him, honestly. Yes, I've been on a boat before.
I'm gonna say that him saying about that makes me think Jasper is just understimulated and wants attention, and that neither Phil nor his wife gives that cat any attention at all. And this is why he's so on them, because he just wants attention and they won't give it to him. Like, you remember that one time where Kat was on stream and Jasper there, and she's just kind of like, ew, no. I think I might have said this on Twitter, but I'm beginning to think that that there's credence to a theory. I think that I can't remember if I put this on Twitter or if I saw it or something, where Cat actually did want to maybe have kids, and Phil's like, oh, let's do a pet first, and then, you know, the pet was like one thing, but then just would not but then it's like, oh yeah, no, then not doing anything like but not having kids, so basically you're stuck with a cat that neither of them wants.
Best friend in high school, his dad owned a small boat that we used to hang out on, and then when I was older, I went on a ferry. I've been on a boat a couple times.
Although I think we're getting close to the end where it's like,
I did play something like
just gonna get tired of Phil.
The last one that ever came out,
I think we're
was 2 or 3.
seeing it.
I beat. It was fun.
The idea that
but not so
she's
challenging because they
stressed
were hard. That one
doing
actually was hard to
housework
beat.
because Phil
And
just
Black,
will not help.
I played some during a Rageathon. I thought it was all right, and I
And
never
when
got
he
back to it and
does,
really asked for it, so I never played it again.
I think that whole thing with the washing machine,
Yes, Super
in
Ford
my
already said that as
opinion,
much.
is
I
him
feel like all these
intentionally
Xbox layoffs
being
and basically really
incompetent,
lack of good leadership
so
make it
that
no one's going to care about this Xbox event in June. Because if you watch an Xbox
so
event in June and they announce 5 big games, even if those
never
games look
asked him to
good,
do
sell
any of
well,
that
but there's a
stuff.
chance they might just close the studio anyway after it, why do you care? Why would you invest effort or interest in something that literally, even if it's a good game and sells well, they might still close the studio? Why would you have any kind of enthusiasm for that, right? So what Xbox has done has created a very bad perception problem where everyone just thinks doom and gloom, and that rests solely on the shoulders of Phil Spencer and Matt Booty, who are making these awful decisions with the company. They should be fired. That's my opinion.
There's a lot of executives that, you know, need
likes are
to
not
shoulder
votes
the
on Game Pass
decision
games.
of acquiring
Likes are not
Activision.
votes. In order to
Again,
nominate
he
a game
won't actually
for
put that
Games
Activision
Marathon,
is
you
the main
must post up the
issue.
name of that game in the thread as appropriate.
He doesn't
It's good if people want
understand
to like, but that doesn't count.
that
It's
kind
not
of
name one game
caused
and everyone likes it.
everything.
It's everyone must
Because
post up.
now the fact is they need to be profitable, which they have not been in years.
Have I considered voice acting? I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't enjoy it. It might be cool to do
Oh,
voices for
Phil,
games
you
or
would be
TV
horrible
shows or who
voice
knows,
acting
right?
because
But
snorts
voice
are
acting is a
not
very,
voice
very,
acting.
very, very, very favoritistic community. It's about who you know. It's not necessarily about having the coolest voice. It's about going out there and networking and kissing butt and being friendly with producers and being friendly with people who are directors. And you know what I'm saying? That's why there are so many voice actors who get all the big work. And
He thinks he could just go up there. It's like, Phil, if you had a big old snort, they would tell you to redo the take. Like, think about it. The thing is he and yes, there is a bit of an elitism in voice acting. But the fact is that if you put the grind out, you might be able to get a little bit, and then you might be able to get a role. But again, it's just, he doesn't want to even try to network with anybody. You could just see how toxic and hateable this guy is.
I don't know anyone. And let's be honest, I have a hate group that follows me around that would not allow me to be liked in those groups because they would just do fucked up stuff. So even if I was interested in voice work, I probably would never get into it. I wouldn't be allowed to, much like many other things.
You wouldn't be good at it, Phil. I don't know that I would.
I have no enemies. Says I wish it was a Stray 2. Why would you wish it was a Stray 2 when there's a cat game coming out on Friday that I'm playing by the name of Little Kitty Big City? That's kind of silly, no? No, I've never been on a cruise ship. Do I think Microsoft will turn into Sega? Or will the Xbox be around for years to come? I have no idea. It lies solely on the shoulders of management. It's their decision what they want to do with that company. There's potential that they could turn it around and do good things, but the management has to be worth the shit, and their management is fucking terrible right now. So as long as those people stay in power, that company will continue to flounder. I would never want to be on a reality show, Han Solo. I was offered to be on a reality show ages ago. He's saying that he was watching Survivor and he thought that I would be a good contestant for Survivor or Big Brother. I was offered to be on a reality show back in the day at the height of my popularity.
Oh my god, he would actually have to
gaming
be
YouTuber.
carded. He has to be helicoptered off the island. He can't
Reach out to
survive
me.
on his own.
And basically, they outlined it all for me, right?
LARP.
And they wanted me on the show. They thought that I was a prominent enough, popular enough gamer that would add something to the show, especially my community of viewers who would watch and follow. And they were going to make me an offer and everything.
Guy from The Father. Everyone hated him.
And I turned him
yeah,
down.
he's
I said,
good.
no, I don't want to do it.
Enough to
Come
try
to find
work for
out,
the guy from The
the
Godfather.
show was trash.
Everyone
The show
hated
was
him.
actually not a serious
Oh
competition.
yeah, the guy.
It
Oh,
was a
you're
scripted
talking
show
about Marlon
based
Brando.
on, like,
Yeah.
how they felt,
People didn't
how
like him
someone would
because he
perform
was
on the show,
difficult
like,
to
as a
work with.
character
But
or
he's
charisma-wise.
he
That's
was
how
lazy, but
determined
one of the
how you would
greatest
progress on the
actors
show.
ever.
And but guess what happened? So when I turned the show
I remember
down,
there was a
they
story
then
where
contacted
Al
Justin
Pacino
Long,
talked
and
about
Justin Long
how
accepted.
in The
So he
Godfather
was on the
he
show
would,
instead
he
of me.
would
They
work
wanted me
like
first. because I was
hours
the big
just trying to
prominent
get the
YouTube fighting game guy. Despite
emotional
the fact I
state so he
wasn't
could do
competitive
his
in 2.4,
acting.
they wanted me first. I
And
turned it
then
down,
you
and
would
then they got
just
Justin Long
see
to replace me.
Marlon Brando just not even try and just wipe the floor with him acting wise each time. Like Marlon Brando was like a acting savant.
I'm just ignoring 90% of the dumb questions, and that's why I know it's time to end the show
If
because it's winding
he
down and these
put
questions are
hard
really
work
stupid.
into it, he
Some of these
would
that are
be
coming in.
like the greatest.
I actually just
actor
received
who
a last minute
ever lived.
contribution. I got a $6 tip from Super Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix. Hold on. We play the animation.
Yeah, I'm not going to. No, it's okay, dude.
$45 in tips tonight. Thank you so much.
It's all good.
He says, I was thinking the other day, if ESP reacts would be unfeasible for the
I had heard that story about Pacino and Marlon Brando.
So, like Boss, D-Day, Cobra, who make nearly thousands of dollars a stream. I'm saying you should consider it sooner rather than later, especially with it being an election year. Why do people ask me the same question over and over? I've literally answered this question a ton in the last few weeks. I keep telling you guys. Am I interested in eventually doing politics? Yes. Would it be on YouTube? No. Would not be here. It would be somewhere else. That way, you don't mix the two kinds of content, and you don't have people on YouTube looking for gaming, but then seeing political stuff, and then getting drawn to one or the other and being pissed off because they don't.
Bill, you don't understand that
there are places you can go right now to do political content separate from YouTube where you are discoverable, and I would consider going to a different place rather than being on YouTube to do it. It would not be on DSP Gaming. It would not be on DSP Reaction. It would not
Could
be
you
on
think
DSP
of
Throwback.
someone
It would
like
be its
Ben
own,
Shapiro
completely
talking
separate
circles
thing.
around?
I've already
Bill?
answered this question. Number one, no, I'm not doing it anytime soon. Why? Right now, I like how things are going between gameplay, throwback content, react content. It's keeping me busy and occupied. It's more than enough content that's making me a good amount of money to make a living.
The thing
right
is,
now,
he is
I don't want to rock that
doing
boat.
the whole
I
thing
want
with
to stay the course
DS
with what I'm doing
politics is
and
he's
keep,
trying to wait until
building that. Right now, Throwback Channel
all
is
of his
development
other
stage,
things
right?
are
I need to have
running
enough body
out,
of work
and
on
then
that
he'll
channel
go to that.
who would want to go there and watch instead of having like 2 playthroughs, you know? So
But
I
he
need to
has
keep building
no-
content on the stuff that I'm working on.
Nothing about.
As I've already said, if you do political content right now, at least the climate in America is very sadly that if you don't agree with me, you're my enemy. So I don't want people to be turned off by other content.
That's
because they
how
don't
it
agree
is
with
in
me
the
politically on
political
something,
arena,
okay?
Phil.
And in addition, yes, this is one of the most contentious, crazy elections that will be coming up. I don't want to be caught up in that drama, that crazy vitriol, right? People are so angry at each other right now. Like, I feel like no matter who wins the election, you're going to have a very divided country of angry people, right? So,
wow, Phil,
I'm not going to poke that hornet's nest,
told you
even if
that?
it makes me all this money up to that point, which I think it would. Like, let's say I started politics during the summer, and I had a hot 3-4 month run where all I'm doing is talking about politics. I'm covering news stories. I'm covering political stories. I'm talking about all these hot issues in politics in the United States and stuff, right? It could be the 4 best months for me, profit-wise. But then what happens when that all dies down, and you've lost your core audience because they didn't agree with the shit you were saying, right? And now you've basically destroyed everything you built for 16 years, which is what I feel would happen. Because ultimately what will happen is one group will win the election, one group will lose, and hate the other group and be so angry at each other, that's the end of everything, right? So for me, you know, what I think the smartest thing to do would be to wait till after the election's over and the dust has settled a bit, and then reassess the situation and say, is it time or not? But here's the thing. I am not really ready for that. I'm already working, you know, ragged at this point. 6 days a week full-time, maintaining 3 different YouTube channels. You know, this would be something as I get older,
ice
as
cold.
we diversify more, when I can't game as much. As I get older and I get carpal tunnel, which I'm getting already, I can tell you, I already have signs of it. It's like, I know I'm gonna get older, I'm not gonna
Don't
be
be
able to
mad
play
when you go into
competitive games
politics
at a
at the
level,
elections
right,
and no
anymore,
one cares.
right? I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be able to sit here and game all day, every day anymore. We're gonna want to do different kinds of talk shows and things. That's when you look to do that.
Really?
I don't think now is the time. You wanna know the truth? Too many YouTubers saw the dollar signs and jumped on the fucking bandwagon before their time. And now what's happened is they are stuck in that rut. Do you wanna know who's stuck in that rut? Review Tech USA. This is a guy that was charismatic, had knowledge about tech, could play games. He could
Why
do all that
am I
shit. He turned
toxic?
his entire channel into drama around politics and gossip and all of this shit. And now he is fucking stuck creating garbage because he jumped in it so early. That's all anyone will pay attention to him for now. No one will actually watch him review
Also,
tech
he's
anymore.
just
so
he's
he has
got
to do
no
jump
charisma
constantly,
and he's
right?
an idiot.
I don't want to
and
make that mistake.
There's
I want to be someone who's
also
doing what I
the
like
whole
while
thing
I'm
with
doing
the
it,
Dropbox,
and then when I feel
which
like
I
it's
don't really want
time
to get
to make
into
that
because,
transition,
oh boy,
you go to that transition. Something
that
different.
is.
I don't think we're ready yet, especially now. I don't want to do it now and jump the gun. Yes, immediate profits are very tempting. 4 months of crazy profits, as people are all about political content leading up to the election, is incredibly tempting to me. How much you want to bet? If I opened a political channel, you'd have both my viewers and my haters going at it, and the views would be big. I know it. I don't know if people would like the content, but man, they would watch it, right? But the thing is at the expense of destroying everything I've created up to now, when I'm not ready to make that full transition. If I'm at an age that I feel like I'm ready, if something goes wrong, to make the transition to just doing that kind of content, then do it. Then pull the trigger, but I'm not ready to go all full speed ahead on that shit, right? I'm just not. So that's why I am being very, very guarded about making any kind of transition into that kind of content.
The thing is that he is.
I guarantee you we're going to do it someday. I'm just not ready for it right now, okay?
He is so averse to change.
Exactly right. It's opening Pandora's box. Once that box is open, I can't say, okay, we're all done, close it. It ain't ever going to close. That box will be open forever. So once it's open, I got to be ready for that. I don't want to do that right now at all. I like the combination of gaming, reacting, throwback content, chill streaming. This is fun to me. Eventually, we will get to the political stuff. I don't think now is the time. I honestly think I'm too young. I'm being honest with you. I think I'm doing well with what I'm doing. Why would I want to change that formula now? If this starts to stagnate, if I'm getting older and people don't care about me playing games and my hands are killing me all the time,
you are stagnating
it's just not worth
right
it, busting my
now.
ass all week every week, then I'll change it up.
You don't have that many whales that are
saying.
Like, what happens when OIC takes their meds again?
We are about to adjourn, so speak now or forever hold your peace, because we are going to end the stream for the night. And again, I want to say thanks to everyone here who chilled or supported in any way. I really appreciate you all coming out and hanging out with me for a couple of hours. Would I consider eating Mexican food on next time I order food for a stream? Yes, we've done that before.
This was boring. Even by DSP standards, this was a boring-ass stream.
See what I mean? We get 2 hours in, and I get questions like this. Can you tuck in Jasper on his tiny kitty sofa? What the fuck are you talking about?
It's almost like having no
about,
content and expecting your viewers to give you all the questions has meant that all the questions have already been answered.
I appreciate you following your beliefs instead of just chasing short-term profits. I mean, that is literally the definition of my existence. Following my beliefs, chasing them, and being kind of, very, very adherent to them. Despite the fact that I get people around me telling me otherwise. No, do this, do that. This is how you make it big. That is how you make it big. This is what you should have done. That's what you should have done. But here I am, 16 years later, happy, healthier than I used to be. Right?
No, you're not.
Making content I like and that other people like, or else I wouldn't make a living doing it.
Like,
I'm good.
There was that whole thing. I can't remember if it was
idiots out there
today or
talking shit about me.
yesterday
I'm
where it
still
looked like
successful,
he had a
and I'm happy for it. I'm proud of that.
He was having
and
a
I don't think I
fucking
want to
stroke
change
on
because a bunch of people think I could be even more successful if I did. I don't care about that, right? I can tell you this. It's funny because, again, people who make documentaries out of me with titles like 10 Years of Failure, correct? As you can tell, that title bothers me. You want to know why? Because if I did all the things in that documentary about me that were suggested, today I may be bigger, more popular, more positively liked, have a lot more money, and I'd probably
nothing
be
like
fucking
a box
miserable.
of 20 chicken nuggets, double cheeseburger, and a pair of
I'm not.
lifts.
That's a good thing because I made decisions
Yeah,
to stay true to myself and who I am. Because of that, I'm surrounded by
that's
positivity
more of a
and
late
love
night
by
meal.
the people who matter
I
to me.
mean,
My family, my
yeah,
awesome
like-
viewers on stream. That's what I care about. Not about a bunch of fakers who just come by to watch because I'm a virally popular guy and toss money at me. I don't want that. I'd much rather have what I have now. If I had known
he
back
wants
then
that.
when I was popular on
Because
YouTube,
remember,
that I
he
could have what I
wants
have
money.
today,
He just
I would
doesn't.
have worked
He's
towards
so
it. I didn't
lazy.
even know
He
it was
doesn't want to
possible.
do
I
anything
didn't see the
for it.
potential of live streaming and interaction. So that's why it took me so long to get into it and understand it. But to say 10 years of failure means you don't understand what's important in life. You think that financial success and internet popularity is success. It's not.
Stop asking your
It's
fans
not.
for help.
That's
Yeah,
frivolous shit. That's neither here nor there. It's about what's in here and what's up here and how you wake
you
up
have
every day looking
nothing.
forward to that next
Your
day because you
heart
love what's
is
coming.
empty.
That's what's
It's a
important.
black
And I
shriveled
have
heart,
that.
and
Despite
your
all the nonsense on the
brain
internet, I
is
have that.
rotten
That's why
from
people say
gin.
dumb shit like that. You're a
Bill,
failure.
I'm
No, I'm not.
sorry.
I'm more of a success than most people who are popular on YouTube. All these
No,
YouTubers
you
say, man,
are
I'm so burnt out.
not.
I got to take time away. You fail. You literally fail. You made a situation where you don't like what you do and you're burnt out. You fucked up. Doesn't matter if you're popular and rich. You still fucked up. I'm not in that situation.
And then you laugh.
You know?
You laugh that they fucked up. That's the thing that gets me. Is he'll still laugh. It's like, Phil, okay, some of the big YouTubers deciding to retire because they have the money and they want to do other things. Maybe they don't want to have the grind of the views and all that. Like, he acts like anybody retiring from YouTube is a bad thing instead of it being like, dude, they got what they wanted. Now they want to enjoy that life. And here's him still.
All right. Anyway, guys, now I think it's
having
time to wrap this up.
grind.
All right. So thank you
and
all
basically
again. One
having
final
to
thank
beg
you
for the
to
rest
everyone.
of his,
Great
his
chill stream tonight.
existence.
Hanging out with Phil here. I hope you had a good time. Thanks for watching. If you watched on demand, I hope you enjoyed the topic
Yeah, what
discussed.
for that?
And, I hope
that's
that you will
definitely a
tune in next time.
very.
Will that be? I don't know. We've been doing these about once a month, and I feel like they work well once a month. These late night chill streams. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you guys so very much. I hope you have a good evening.
I think he
safe.
honestly does it so he doesn't
Okay.
have to choose
stuff,
which
guys.
late night thing he
thank
has
you
to do
all.
3 of.
I really appreciate you chilling with me.
But
And a reminder that tomorrow is my day off. I will not be here for streaming
I
tomorrow.
don't care.
I hope that
Phil.
you perhaps will get caught up on all the stuff maybe you missed this week because there was quite a lot of content that I put out this week, right? And when I return on Friday, it will be a new game, Little Kitty Big City on the first stream, where I hope that you guys will check it out because
I don't wanna
it
watch
might
him
be the
play
next
that.
Untitled Goose Game. If it's not, then we just won't play it again if it's not good, but I'm excited. Check it out.
Oh, Untitled.
And the late stream
no.
is more Friday Night Fight Street
Untitled
Fighter
Goose
6,
Game.
pushing Zangief to
Don't
Master,
talk
which we're so
that
close at this
bad
point. I
about
hope in the
DJ
next two streams we
Runo.
hit it. Keep in mind this week we got more Fallout 4. We got more Another Crab's Treasure. We got a fun React Day, right? If we like Little Kitty Big City, we've got more of that coming up.
Retire
depending,
insinuating
right? We have
that
to see.
person is
So
done
there's good stuff coming up this week that I hope you guys will join me for.
Yeah.
All right, thank you all. Please enjoy tomorrow. Be safe, and I will see you all when I come back on Friday. New news to talk about and all that, I'm sure. Okay, guys, thank you so very much. Have a good evening, and I shall see you all on Friday. Peace out.
The thing about it that it's like it really does show that to him he thinks that him sitting in that chair just talking to people with mediocre content is in any way good. He really truly thinks that. Well, okay, I'm gonna let me Dave Small. It's so weird that Phil is just like, as you said, he's like, oh, I'll wait until after the election, and no one is going to give a shit because guess what? Then politics isn't going to matter. It really is. Then it'll be like, oh, you see, I shouldn't have done that. It really is. He cannot seem to pick a good time to do any of this stuff. He is just... I don't get what the whole thing, like, he just really... See, and part of it, since the whole thing with insinuates he's done working, is that because he monetized every part of his life early on in his YouTube career, he doesn't understand why everyone else just doesn't do that. Like, he thinks that they should have done what he did, which is monetize everything, monetize his friends, and not pay them. But just monetize every aspect of his life. He thinks that was a good thing to do, and that would be a good, not only was that a good thing, but it really does show that he, like, other people, like, they got into other things, you know, maybe, you know, think about it, the people who did only pay plays, you know, then, you know, some of those are the folks who did Smiling Friends, you know, like, you can move on from the internet into doing something maybe much better, but I don't think he's ever going to do that. Like, and the funny thing about it, and it's been said before, his takes in politics are going to be so all over the place, and they're just going to change constantly. Because the only thing he cares about is himself. So his political takes are all going to be just selfish and self-centered. Oh, I need to have, you know, whatever will keep him having more money for himself. So... everybody is gonna clown this guy. Yeah, we're not gonna win this one. But I'm not waiting for the daily wrap. I'm sorry that this was a rough one, because it's just him talking and deciding this is what he wants to transition to doing this first before he does politics. This is what he really wants to do, but anyway, also, it is late. Yeah, he is so screwed. He is so screwed if anything happens to YouTube. Like, he has put so much of his personality into YouTube. He won't diversify. He won't do anything. He won't go back to Twitch for a little bit. Anything. But yeah, I'm just not interested in the daily wrap. I am also just, I need to go to work, so I think I'm going to end it here. Thank you all for coming out. I don't know when the next time I'll do this. Who knows? But you guys have fun, and I will catch you the next time I do this.
Pimp, we get a big ups to Darcy the Flow, and I just onto the playlist. No.
What is up, everyone? Hello, hello, and welcome. Only mic was on. It's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know.
Hello, hello, hello.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
Turn up my neckphones. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. What's up, Jamie?
Yo, yo.
Good to see you here today. Are you ready for this?
Yo, yo.
You know what time it is. Yes, Jay. Big time. Go. Shout out to Almighty Frogga from Guadalajara, Aquatic. I'm cruising in my blue Corolla. I need that money to be a high roller. Trapped and made a controller. She's crying downstairs, so I have to console her.
Swimsuit
Model
with
and
eating disorder.
Spent $200 on her DoorDash order. Yo, just a fucking crook with a fucking crooked jaw. False flagging out channel with my puppy dog. I committed fraud, and I got low T's. I'm a low T god. False flagging, mundane maggot. Phil's fat, Phil's a faggot, Phil's a loser, Phil's a beggar. Arnold, Phil's a nigger. Right? How do you say? Brunel's a nigger, right?
Very nice. All right. Let us continue.
It's 3 a.m. and I can't sleep. I got 2 big bills coming next week.
one more chance to save the best streak. I'm going full mask off. It's not that deep. It's 3 a.m. and I can't sleep. I got 2 big bills coming next week. One more chance left to blow. You ready? 8 time go. 8 time flow. Flow. They thought I fell off. No. Like a prime D rose, I'd be dunking on these hoes. Turn you into T-card, striking a T-pose. So let me tell you now what the story is. They call me ESP.
Notorious.
I'm cruising and wrenching, fast and furious with my homie Pastor Eric Miller.
He's quite curious.
They don't have nearly what it takes to be a man. And since I took their manhood, that's mine now, so I ain't giving it back.
My trolls are always watching me, waiting for another disaster stream. They won't even give me a piece of peace or like a whole fucking team locking onto my stream like a detractor beam. I can't get rid of them. I'm sober. I'm losing my mind. And I'm losing supporters. Detractors are bending me over. Just another con in this Ludwig world order. And now I'm seeing so much clearer as I sit here staring into Dark Dave's mirror and all of my fears and all that I see. The raw DSP. Bottom feeder, cult leader. It's 3 a.m. and I still can't sleep. I guess this is all I will ever be. This is just how time flows. Until it time go. It's gonna take years of effort to try to dig myself out of this fucking hole. It really is. And it sucks. I hope that someday I'll get out of it. I don't know if I ever will. I may be living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, begging for fucking tips and shit on stream for the rest of my life. Like, it's been tough. You know, my life has been tough over the last decade. Yeah. You know, my life has been tough over the last decade. Yeah. You know, my life has been tough.